Hello, Gory. Hi, thank you for this invitation tonight.
My microphone's muted, so there we go. As soon as I get confirmation that you can hear me and Steven okay, then we're good to go. And let me know if there's an echo, or if I'm too loud or too quiet, or if he's too loud or too quiet, or if he's echoing,
Yes.
or I'm
Yes.
echoing. Maybe there's
Can you hear
random
me okay?
monkeys. Maybe you can hear. Can you hear the monkeys? Can you guys hear everything okay?
Can you hear me?
There's an echo. Okay. Craven, say something.
Yes, good evening, Gory. Thank you for having me, Gory B, tonight for what's going to be a great night. And hopefully everyone can hear me. But if not, please let us know. And we will... Is there an echo now? Hello? Hello?
Is there still an echo?
Is there an echo?
All right, I've unplugged the headphones. Let's see if there's still an echo. Still an echo? Okay, am I still echoing, or can you hear me okay?
It's like it's echoing on your side and not mine for some reason.
Aww.
Gory has an echo. All right.
Oh, I think I know what to do. Give me just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Okay, now is there still an echo? Is there still an echo? No echo? Oh, good. Okay, no echo. Craven, buddy, say something.
Yes. Yes. Hello. Testing. Can you guys hear us with no echo? Are we echo free?
I can do it. I can
Yes.
do it. I am so sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone. I've been kind of out of the game for a while. Still some static. I've been out of the game for a while with everything, so yeah, I'm still figuring things out, but you know, I'm getting there, slowly but surely.
Yes. I
Craven,
never.
while
I had full
figure
faith
out a
in
couple
you.
last minute things. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Of course. Well, guys, this is Steven from Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. And over on my channel, it's all about Scream, Halloween, what's going on with horror, covering Nope, covering Bodies, Bodies, Bodies soon. Bunch of other stuff. All horror. A lot of Wes Craven talk. We have a great time. Lots of videos, theory videos, and news updates. And, of course, watch parties. And lots of live streams with my pal, Gory B Movie, which is... We are forming quite the bond, Gory. I love where we're heading in our relationship. I think it's fantastic. And we have more stuff already planned ahead, right? We got more stuff coming up soon. So, anyway, I'm very honored to be here tonight on your channel for the first time, Gory B. Thank you for the invitation tonight.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it.
And, my friend Steven here introduced me to the Stew Train. Now, if you don't know what the Stew Train is, it's like our, I don't want to say cult, but I want to say cult, but I don't want to say cult. It's our little group of people who believe that Stu is still alive. So, like, if you believe that Stu is still alive, you, my friend, are on the Stew Train, conducted by our buddy Steven here.
That's right.
The Stew Train.
The Stew Train.
Oh,
is
you
a real
can't
thing.
see it because it's on the stream, but it's on there. You have to go back and watch the replay. I made you a Stew Train.
No, darn.
All right.
I will definitely watch it.
I want you to see it. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So I am so sorry again for the delay. Like I said, we're working on this. It's a work in progress, and I appreciate everybody being so patient. I'm so happy to see so many good friends in the chat. We've got Entertainment Wizard and Jen, Jordan Talks Film, Heather Lay, Mr. Flickster, who I'm collaborating with tomorrow, Mr. Check Yourself, Maverick Media, hey buddy, Jacqueline Elaine, Ariel, Ginger Ninja, Austin 530, Lewis Man. Okay, enough of that shit, or you're not going to stick around. So, I think I've already furthered your ado plenty. Let's get into ranking these. So, we're ranking 10. We are ranking 10.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. Thank you, Heather.
Absolutely.
You're beautiful. We are going to rank 10, and it's a little controversial. It's a little controversial because there are a lot of people who are going to say, yeah, there's 9, but there is a lot of speculation that Angelina, my bad.
Yeah,
Angelina was Roman's accomplice. Now that could work. If that's the case, I think she killed the Jenny McCarthy character and she might have done the explosion. I don't think she did a lot. Mm-hmm. I think she mostly was, running around and doing other things on the side, not so much the killing. But yeah, Roman could have either killed her or she might not even be dead. We just saw her get dragged away. Thoughts on this?
Yes.
Thoughts?
Yes. Absolutely. 100%. I think that clearly it's a fishy character because there's so many clues that are there in the movie with Angelina. You see her multiple times, suspicious stuff. I mean, like, for example, before the house explodes, they're in the backyard by the pool. She's holding Dewey's right hand, and then all of a sudden she just lets go of his hand and just moves out of the frame of the camera. Just takes off to the side. Absolutely makes no sense, I guess, unless you knew something was about to happen. Right?
It's fishy for sure. Definitely fishy.
And her
I
death,
get into
allegedly,
how
is that way,
nerdy
too.
I got with this ranking, and I pulled Steven into my nerdiness, and for that I apologize. It's contagious like a virus. But I am looking at a few key things here. I think we're both looking at a few key things here. One, how predictable was it that they were a Ghostface? And not only how predictable was it, sometimes it's completely unpredictable. Sometimes it's out of left field. But was it poorly set up? Is it unexpected because it was poorly set up? Were there any good clues? The best ones are the ones where you're like, damn, I should have figured that out. The clues were there, I just missed it. Not, you're pulling a fast one on me. I think you guys know which ones I'm maybe referring to here, but we're going to get into detail with this. 2, lethality. How brutal are they? How tough are they? How hard were they to kill? How scary are they? And it's not about body type. You can be very vicious and be very tiny, and likewise we have some bigger characters who I think are maybe a little less intimidating. Personality. Personality, I think, is one of those things that makes one of these ghost faces stand out to you. Definitely, I think there's one in particular that stands out to my friend Craven here. If they're quotable, if they're fun, if they have personality, if you want to see more of them, that gets you points. Motive. What was their motive? How well was it established? Have we seen it before? Does it make sense? And finally, just personal, like just our dang personal feelings about them. Okay, we don't need to explain it to you. We might just like them, just like we just like you. Okay.
Yeah.
I keep saying without further ado, but you know what? I got so many ados in my ados. All right. So, number 10. Do you want to go first?
No. I don't.
I just like blew out their speakers. My loud laughing. I'm gonna turn that down just a scooch 'em. All right. So, oh no, don't do that. Dun, dun, dun. Gory's number 10. I have to go look. Oh, do I have to look? No, I don't have to freaking look. This might make some of you mad. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. I want to clarify before we get into this. I love all these movies. I know Steven loves all these movies.
Yes.
And that means that these characters are a part of those movies. And even if I have your number one ranked one at number 10, it doesn't mean that I think any less of your opinion. It just means we're different people with different brains and different tastes. And your opinions are just as valid as ours.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go. My number 10 is Nancy Loomis. Which, by the way, she has the same name. Because Debbie Salt's alias. It's fake. But her name is the same as Laurie's buddy in Halloween. And that might be the only thing I like about her. I really, I was so looking forward to Scream 2 when it came out. I loved Scream so much. It instantly became one of my all-time favorite movies. Then I'm watching MTV. It's the 90s. There's all these trailers, of Randy and Dewey. And they're like, well, if I'm a suspect, then you're a suspect. And just, I'm marking out so hard for this. I go see the movie. It's beautiful. The colors, the music, the characters I love are back. Then they kill Randy. A little pissed off. And the ending, I don't mind. The motive is good. The motive is solid.
Yes.
I like that. It's a very callback to Mrs. Voorhees.
Yes.
And you can't see it, but it's on the stream here, Steven. I've got pictures of them with their motives and who played them. Mostly, I just think Laurie Metcalf was poorly cast. I don't see her as Billy's mom. I don't see her as being at all intimidating. She doesn't even really strike me as crazy. I think she's better in comedic roles. But even just the lines, maybe it was her delivery, maybe it was the lines themselves, maybe it's because there were so many rewrites, but it just didn't work for me. It came off kind of goofy. I really just did not like this character. Also, when you look at things like her motive's pretty solid, but as far as lethality, she kills Mickey. She killed Randy, which that just made me mad. But she didn't do a whole lot of damage, and I also think it's one of the worst set up ones we've had because she's presented as Debbie Salt, this kind of annoying wannabe Gale reporter. Where there's no mention of Billy in the whole damn movie, and then at the end of it they drop it's Billy's mom. That could have been so much better established. Hell, that would have made more sense even in the new one where they talk about Billy throughout. There was no mention of Billy, so that really I thought was kind of a disservice to the fans. So yeah, it was pretty hard on that one, but definitely without a doubt my number 10.
Okay. So my number 10, and again, I hate to repeat what Gory just said, but, there's so much, I should say, subjectivity to all of this stuff because it is art. It's like music. It's like anything else. So there's so many factors that go into this, and Gory, I'm impressed by the criteria you sent me because this is a literal spreadsheet. I'm not even joking.
So
it's a literal. No, it's just to be celebrated. That's how serious you take this.
I'll show you on his camera really quick, but
yeah, it's a literal spreadsheet. It's fantastic.
It is an actual spreadsheet where we ranked all of these things and you get like a score. But I don't want to show you too much because it will give stuff away.
Yeah. But I was impressed. So when I got the spreadsheet, I started diving into all these categories. And, it's interesting how when you start doing these things and when you break it down this way and you start looking at these components, how it does affect the overall grade at the end. And you almost kind of like think, oh, well, then, because if you factor in certain things like, predictability, motives, all these different things, it's not just an ad hoc or ad hominem type of, oh, I like this person better than the other. When you
Yeah.
have to actually, which is fine, but if you want to go deeper, which is what Gory and I are doing, we're trying to actually quantify the differences of these people. The rankings somewhat changed a little bit. I did find though at the end they were all pretty close to what I would just reel off of the top of my head. But it was interesting because some of the things popped out to me that I didn't really notice just by not thinking about it that deeply. So it's a very long introduction to announce my 10th pick, but I thought it was worth expanding on that a bit. So my number
You
10th.
do all you want.
Thank you. Thank you.
We do and
My
do
number.
here.
Do a do a do a do.
I do.
And do a little more. My
I'm
10th.
so excited to hear what this is. Wait, hold on, let me
Okay.
get rid of Mrs. Loomis. There we
Okay.
go.
You let me know.
All right, we're ready.
You ready? Okay. My number 10 Ghostface is Amber Freeman.
Oh, I knew it! I
Yes.
knew it! I knew it! I had my own predictions for what you were going to pick.
It is. I know there's a lot of people out there, especially with recency bias, that really love Amber Freeman, and that's fine. It's like I say, it's totally fine. But she has the lowest score on my sheet, and she's my least favorite without the sheet. They
And it goes
match
to show that
completely.
even using the sheet, you and I are going to have different stuff completely.
Oh yeah, and that's the beautiful thing, and I love that, Gory, because I posted a video on my channel about Neve Campbell's rankings of the Scream franchise this weekend, where she gave her personal rankings, and what I've loved is the people commenting on the video with their rankings and how different everyone's rankings are. It's just, and I actually love to see that because it just goes to show that while all of us love these movies, like there's not a bad Scream movie. There's just not. And there really isn't. And so all 5 of these movies are good, but it's so cool to see how one person's ranking is compared to the next, and then the next, and it just goes on and on. And there's so much difference, so many differences. So I think this will be the same for you and me tonight, which is exciting because I can't wait to see how we end up shaking this all down. But that's my number 10. I just was, overall, I didn't like much about the character of Amber overall, and from her personality all the way through. And so, yeah, that was the basic reason. Mostly her personality. I just didn't like her before she was a killer.
Personality
Now, when
was
she
a
did,
big hit for her.
what's that?
So for you, personality was a big hit for her.
Personality was, it was really big. On her personality, I ranked her. I didn't go to awful, which I could have, but I almost did, but I said
love that you've
no.
embraced this nerdy spreadsheet. I'm usually so embarrassed to tell people how much I spreadsheet stuff. So.
I
You're
think
now my best friend.
Oh, listen, hey, I'm your bestie because you're speaking my language here, and I'm like looking at the rubric, and I'm like, well, is it awful or is it bad? Okay, it's not. She's not mediocre. I'm gonna go with bad. So I gave her 1 point. I didn't give her a 0 in personality, believe it or not. And that's only because she came alive at the end. In the third act, she woke up, and I did like that performance enough to bring her up from the rest of it a little bit. But she's by and far my lowest ranking by like 15. Is it 15 or 16%? Is the closest to her. So pretty low number.
Everyone says you sound a bit robotic. Guys, I don't want
Uh-oh.
to screw with it too much because I just got it working. Let's try turning that up a bit. Let me know if he sounds a little bit better now. Okay, guys?
Is this any better? Any
He
better
sounds
at
fine to
all?
me.
Hopefully this is coming through the airwaves a little better. Hello?
All right, let me know if he sounds a little bit better. I'm going to keep trying to work on it. Okay, so number 9 now, right?
Number 9.
All right, I'm moving to number 9. Bye, Amber. Bye, Amber. So sassy. Okay, Gory, me, number 9 is... I have to look. I actually don't remember. That was anticlimactic. Oh, I know. It is, dun, 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 drumroll please. It is Angelina.
Oh!
Angelina.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you what. One, she's not even cool enough to reveal herself as a Ghostface. If she's a Ghostface. if she's a Ghostface, then she's like the wussiest damn Ghostface ever. Does she piss me off like Mrs. Loomis, who she actually makes me physically angry? And that is my second favorite of the franchise, and I love that movie, but I still cannot stand her. And it's nothing against Laurie Metcalf. I'm still talking about her. I love her in the Norm Show and Roseanne. I just hate her in that movie. But no. Angelina doesn't piss me off. I'm just like, wow, girl. Why are you here? What you doing? We all know what you're doing. You got that Ghostface mask. You're in the bathroom. I know what people do with Ghostface masks in the bathroom. Like, I'm not a noob. We're 3 movies in. Don't treat me like I don't know my shit. Anyway, Emily Mortimer was fine. She plays kind of like the uber sweet girl, which I think we all know people who act like that in real life, who act a little too sweet, and you're like, there's something up with you. Nobody is like that all the time, you know? Like, ooh, super, super sweet. So, I do think she was definitely suspicious.
Yeah.
But I don't like that we didn't get an actual reveal, that we haven't gotten an actual, I think, conclusion to her story. And this can be fixed. If she comes back in the Radio Silence trilogy, she comes back in Scream 6, I think they can fix this, and that will shoot her right up my ranking. Because I also, like, I like when she finally breaks down. She's like, I didn't fuck that pig Milton for nothing, you know? Like, they're like, okay, there's your fire. I want more of your fire. So if she comes back, we might see that, you know?
Yep.
And what was her relationship with Roman? There's got to be more there. So mostly just wasn't explored enough. Also, I played roller derby. I guess I'm not a total weakling, but I could snap this girl in half. I am not afraid of her as a ghost face. Maybe she blows me up in my house. Maybe.
Well, and like I say, I think she has something to do with that too, possibly. So, and remember this, Gory, and I know I'll get to my Angelina. I'll have more to say, but in fairness to Angelina, Wes Craven had to keep her reveal a secret, because that was the Weinsteins behind pulling their trigger on that. So that was because it was originally the script was she was revealed as the killer in the movie. That was the plan. And then when the Weinsteins said, no, we don't want her revealed as the killer. No, change that up.
They were
so
totally
Wes had
fine with all the sexual violence in Hollywood stuff. Like,
oh yeah, like they're totally fine. They got Milton in there, but Wes had to physically remove from the script her reveal. So it's
so it was in the script.
Yeah.
Ah,
it
makes
was.
more sense. I like what Jacqueline says here. She says, but she did potentially get away with it if her death was faked, which, yes, also makes her a better Ghostface, because she'd be the only one who actually got away with it.
Well, so. her and one other.
Well, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But just
possibly two. How about one of possibly two?
I wish you could see the stew train. It's beautiful. Guys, tell him how beautiful the stew train is. It's really scary, actually.
I'm popping over to the stream on YouTube. Look at that picture of Angelina. That's awesome. Good job. Woo.
I got all these surprises for you.
I can't wait to watch the replay when I can just sit back and just watch it all.
Yeah, you can see all my stew trains. I'm going to send it to you
the stew train. I just saw a clip. I caught the glimpse right before it went off the screen. That's so good.
Oh, boy.
No, that's
all
awesome.
All right. I think we've said everything. I think I've said everything I have to say about Angelina Tyler today.
Okay.
And, yeah, Gory out.
Love it. Or is it drop the mic there, drop the earbuds, drop the computers on the floor? You're right. Oh, okay. Where are we at?
Number 9.
We're at number. Okay, it's my number 9, right? So make sure. Help keep me straight here, Gory. All right.
I got you, man.
Okay, my number 9 is none other than Mr. Charlie Walker.
Oh,
Charlie! Although I will say, Charlie has one of my favorite kills. Actually, I don't know.
Is it the Olivia one?
Well, I was going to say that might be, yes. It's either, actually the one I was thinking of, but I love the Olivia kill when you said that. The one I actually was thinking of was the Perkins kill, the knife in the forehead. That's Charlie, and he pounded down some Red Bulls. He got his wings and he ran and just bam right into the forehead. That's an awesome kill, and the Olivia kill is just brutal as any in the franchise.
I actually thought about it because I thought he wasn't all that lethal, and then I actually looked at all the kills. I'm like, he's got some of the most intense kills of the franchise.
He does. He's great kills. The biggest reason that that brought him down for me on scores was, again, kind of similar to Amber. It was personality. He was very dry personality. There was not much, that you really kind of hooks you into him as a character. It was just kind of a bland, dry personality. And also, one thing that hurt his score was the predictability for me. I pretty much called him early, but didn't call all of it early, which is why I helped somebody else later in this ranking. But I did not. I pretty much picked him out. So that, with his personality, those brought his scores down because I thought his lethality was really good. I had about a 4.
Yeah, I was really surprised because I had to kind of look at. Guys, I made another spreadsheet of all the kills. It's bad. It's bad.
It's great.
It has
it's
ones that were
really good.
confirmed by the writers. If they confess to it, because if they confess, they may not have necessarily done it.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Wink, wink.
Yes. Ones that are obvious, ones that were on screen, ones that are it's most likely, but I can't give you a definitive. So yeah, we had some fun.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to say about Charlie Walker?
No, not really. That's pretty much it. To me, I love the kills, because I know he did probably the majority of the kills in 4. So I do tip my hat off to him for that. But I just wish there would have been more to his personality. That's all. That was, and it was just kind of a little dry for me, for my taste.
Oh, and Boris is letting us. Boris, by the way, is the crow at the bottom there. It's my buddy. Boris is letting us know that Fate Decided is in the house. What's up, dude? Yeah.
Fate Decided. What's going on? What are you doing?
Right there. Best 3 seconds on YouTube.
Oh gosh, no, not the 3-second rule.
I am so
Gory.
Sorry. You almost booted me out of your chat yesterday. I couldn't tell.
No, I didn't. Gory, I'll never boot you out of one of my chats. No way.
Like, young lady, you're respectable.
No way.
By the way, I haven't told everybody. I got a new shirt, a new Ghostface shirt. What's this? Yeah, call me.
Love it. Love it.
Number 10. You missed number 10, Fate, so maybe you're going to have to check out that sweet, sweet replay. That's what you get for being late.
Yeah, you are.
We were late, too, so I can't judge you. All right, anything you want to say about our boy Charlie before we move to my number 8?
I think that's it for me, for Charlie.
Later, yep. Charlie.
See ya.
All right. Wouldn't want to be. Actually, I wouldn't mind. I'm not. It's fine. If I had to be him, I had to think about it more.
Yeah.
Priorities in life. Ugh.
Very
okay,
much.
That's not fair. Okay, I don't mean ugh. We're still on my bottom rankings, okay? These are not ones I'm super excited about.
Understood.
It's just like, oh, that one. So here's the thing, and guys, please don't get mad at me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The new one, and I put it on here as Scream 5 because I'm not putting Scream 2022. I really hate the requel trend of giving them the same title. It's Scream 5. It's 5 cream. That's just what it is. Deal with it.
It's Scream 5. Thank you, Gory.
Yes. I liked Scream 5. I think for me, the thing that really made it the worst is all the initial reviews were like, it's as good as the original. And really, it's a fine Scream movie. For me, it just doesn't have the strong characters or that bright atmosphere, that clash of John Hughes and slasher movies that I love from Wes Craven's. It doesn't have that, and that's what I really wanted. And but I'm a little different than some people in that I tend to like movies more the more I watch them. I think I'm a little more critical initially, and then after a while, I just kind of accept it. So I mean, I love it. I'm gonna buy it, but it is my number 5. So yeah, and Richie's a part of that. So Richie, I'm gonna cut it to you guys straight. I love Jack Quaid. Jack Quaid is my boy from The Boys. Yeah? Yeah, who loves The Boys here?
Oh, whoop, whoop.
I love The Boys. The Boys are so good. Jack Quaid is incredible.
Yes.
I adore him. And trouble is with a lot of his motive, I feel it was kind of a retread of Charlie. Charlie wanted to do Stab better than the original Stab, remake of it. And his was essentially, it's a little more about toxic fandom. Richie's is, like the quote I have for him is, how can fandom be toxic? but it was to recreate Stab 8, which he was upset by because it was disappointing, and make it better than the original Stab. It was a little too familiar. Also, Richie, in my opinion, is the most obvious killer to ever obvious in the Scream franchise. I mean, I kind of had him pegged from the beginning because I'm just like, what does this guy have to do with anything? He's very new. He hasn't known Sam very long. Then we get the comment from Dewey, look at the love interest. And I couldn't understand why he would go with her. They haven't been dating that long. Why is he going with her to a potentially dangerous situation where her family member has been horribly injured? It didn't make any dang sense to me. So I called him right from the beginning. Granted, Danny called Amber. So between the two of us, we got it. But I'm just like, no, Richie, he is it. And I also kind of saw what they were doing where this is a requel. So in my head, they were going to basically reboot Billy. And Billy was the love interest. So it was just way too obvious. And I like that his personality was very different than Billy's. I like that he's got kind of that, what do the people call it? Incel? Like that whole, like, you know, sad, lonely, I just sit at home man on the internet thing and cry about things that don't go my way. I don't know what the word is for that. I think, anyway, I like that, but it does make him really, really freaking whiny. At the end of the movie. He's not at all lethal. I think he killed one person in the movie. He made Amber do most of the work. But yeah, he's just kind of a whiny git. I liked him better. Usually I like them more when they become Ghostface. Him, I liked him more before he was Ghostface. He was pretty funny then. And I liked that he was like watching the Stab movies. And I was like, oh, that's kind of adorable. I like him. But you sus as all hell, boy. But yeah, once he became Ghostface, I was just not feeling it. Not feeling it at all. Yeah. Unpopular opinion. I'm sorry. Please keep watching. I have opinions you're going to like, too. I have many likable qualities.
You do. And I love your opinions. They're great.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to pull a quote here from the chat. Just random. Blucka, hey. He says, I feel like Billy and Mickey were the most obvious, but you didn't want them to be the killers because Randy was constantly calling them out. Yeah, we're going to talk more about those guys here in a little bit. But first, later, Richie. And we're going to Steven's number 8.
Okay. Well,
I'm nervous.
You know what? This one, I think you're going to be happy with this one.
Really?
I really do.
So far,
I
we're
think
so different.
So far, we got some degrees of variance, but I think this one is going to be close. Because my number 8 is Richie Kirsch.
Oh, I could have just left you up there, Richie.
Yep, I was going to say something, but now let the cat out of the bag, so I'll let her take it down. Yes, Richie is my number 8, and for a lot of the same reasons you said. In fact, when I went to ranking him on the sheet, the only categories, let me pull it up here, is, where's it at? Richie, here we go. So he ranked at 2, which on the rubric, that's a mediocre. He was a 2 on every category except personality. I had him a 5 because I loved his personality. And under personal, just my own likability, me personally of the character, I had him at a 4. That's the reason why he's at 8. Everything else was at 2. Because all the things you said, totally predictable. And I did not really like him as a killer either. Because even as a killer, he was kind of like just soft. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Whiny, you said whiny, that's another word. Because even when he's getting stabbed 23 times, he's like, what about my ending? Bro, really? I mean, seriously? You're 23 stabs and you really still think your movie's going to get made? You're about to die, homie. It's like, what do you do? Anyway, he was very whiny at that point forward. But I love Jack in that role ahead of time, though. I thought he was a great... Well, here's what I was hoping for. I wanted him to be Derek from Scream 2. I wanted him to be actually be the nice guy when it all was done and carry on to Scream 6.
That would have been cool. Something
wouldn't that have been great?
Different, I think.
Yeah, and this is where they really, again, following the Billy Loomis thing so closely to the first one, it was just, and Dewey called it out at the very beginning. Don't trust the love interest.
Dewey should have just killed him then.
Exactly, Dewey. Hey, hashtag Dewey knew.
Dewey.
All right, that's all I got to say.
I like it.
Hashtag Dewey knew. So I don't really have much else to add. You hit most of the points that I was going to share too. I just don't. I just love him as the boyfriend, not as a killer.
I agree.
Yeah.
And he is an example of somebody who is, I mean, body type wise, like he would tower over me, but I am more afraid of Amber than I'm afraid of him.
Yeah,
She's
I mean, I would agree with
a
that.
little rat terrier, and he's like a lovable Great Dane.
A lovable Great Dane.
Yeah, I mean,
love it.
it's like Scooby and Scrappy, right? Like Scrappy's the one who's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, right? But Scrappy's the one that's motivated.
Exactly.
Scrappy's the one that's like not afraid to do anything to get it done.
Exactly. Scrappy should be the next killer.
Scrappy.
It was always Scrappy.
It was always. I loved that. When that ending came, I was like, yes, you got it right, because I could never stand Scrappy as a kid. Watching the cartoons, he annoyed the crud out of me, and I was like, they actually did it right. They got, for once, a major studio got it right, and made him the bad guy. It was great.
Aww. Derek is his boyfriend. How do you say his name? Because I can't say it without sounding like kind of perverse.
Say it?
That's his name.
Awesome.
It's MMMM.
It is. It's actually, you said it right. That's how I would do it. You do it much better than me, though. I think you nailed it.
I think what you like that I do is Stu.
Oh gosh, that's so adorable. I swear, the next time we're meeting, I'm gonna record that. I got to have that soundbite from you.
You got
I just
it.
love how it sounds. It's so good.
You got it, buddy. All right, So wow, we're chugging along.
We
It's
are
'cause
chugging
we got
here.
that stew train power. Oh.
We are powered by the stew
We
train,
are powered
baby.
by the stew train. You could.
Yes.
I see marketing potential here. Make an energy drink. Do that.
See, look, I'm already designing some stew train shirts, Gory.
I need a stew train shirt.
I'm designing stew train shirts as we speak, so I will have them launched and ready to purchase on June the 4th. Key day in the near future. And so yeah, so stay tuned, Gory. I will have some stew train shirts. Yep.
Oh, it's their initials. Eminem. Eminem. I'm gonna call you Eminem until I get corrected.
Isn't it
Ariel?
actually, Gory? Isn't it actually MM and MM?
I know, yeah.
Say that 5 times. MM and MM.
I
MM and
can't, it's
MM.
hurting me.
It's hurting me to
my
say it
brain.
once.
My no. All right, we're gonna move on to number 7. Oh, you know what,
Yes.
Brandon? There should be a Gory B Movie talking plush toy. There should be for all of
There
y'all.
should be. There you go. Talking about marketing. There you go.
Wow. You squeeze it and it says something.
Stew, stew.
Stew. There you go. You
Stew.
squeeze the Gory B Movie plush and it goes stew.
It's stew. That's perfect. There you go. Let's get that outsourced and get that production going.
Make it happen. All right, Richie, I think we're definitely done with you, my friend. We are done with Richie.
I think Richie's officially in the grave. He's done.
Richie, you're gone, buddy. I need to see who's next. Dun, dun, dun. Are we getting to anybody I'm excited about yet? Okay, I think my buddy here is gonna appreciate this one.
Okay.
They're pretty freaking close for me. Pretty freaking close. It's Amber Freeman.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so Amber gets a slight edge above Richie. It's kind of the opposite problem I have with Richie. I couldn't stand her. I think the character is really confused on the page. I got this sense, and I know it was in the script originally, but I got the sense that she was very protective of Tara, and that there was something going on there. And maybe Tara wasn't aware of it, but I got that Amber was into her. And I did not buy this reveal that she was with Richie at all. Like, I thought that was weird. But she was, like, mega unlikable bitch queen energy. Like, I'm not Cordelia from Buffy, which is, like, likable bitch queen. You can do bitch queen well and make it likable. But she was really just kind of aggravating. and not fun to watch, and she really didn't bring anything to the movie until she's revealed as Ghostface. Then you have her on fire. She's full crazy. Like, she was one of the hardest Ghostfaces to take out. Like, she just would not die, which I really liked about her. She's a scrappy little girl. I mean, she does most of the kills in this movie. She's definitely got, like, the fire, you know. You know, there's some irritating personality things with her. You know, I was radicalized.
Oh, gosh.
And I have some disagreements about some of the things she said, you know, about when she was confessing to our boy Dewey's death. But it's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I do like seeing female characters like this who are scrappy, who are fierce despite their size.
Scrappy?
Like, you can be small and be like that scary little terrier, and that's exactly what she is. And if she was Mad Dog the whole movie, like, they could have added that to her character, like made her fiercely protective of Tara towards Wes in the beginning. I would have been on board with her from the beginning, but didn't really care for her until the end.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing, and you just given me a whole new image now. When I watch Scream 5 and I see Amber, I'm just gonna think of Scrappy Doo. She's just there's Scrappies on the screen now. Let me at him! Let me at him! It's perfect.
We never see her ears, but I bet they're mismatched.
Probably so. That's hilarious.
Oh, right. I gotta find out what is Steven's number 7.
Number 7. My camera's off right now because I've got something in my eye, so trust me. It's going to be okay, but that's why I'm still here.
She's really small.
I think Amber's ticked off of me right now. She's scrapping at my eye, scratching at it or something. I really do think it's Amber. So, my number 7, right? Number 7.
Your number 7. Wait.
Is, going to be Angelina
number 8.
Tyler. Are you sure?
Because Amber was my number...
No, Richie Kirsch Richie was my 8.
Did I skip somebody? Okay. Oh, no. I'm looking at the wrong thing because there's numbers on the side. Yes. Okay, number 7.
Number 7.
Yes.
Okay, all right, good. You scared me. Okay. Angelina Tyler is my number 7.
Where are you, Angelina? I forgot all about her already. That's how memorable she is.
Oh, Angelina.
Angelina.
Yes. Angelina is 7 because, you know, I liked Angelina, her personality. I liked, you know, we didn't have a ton of time with her, but I liked her as a character. I wish we would have had a little bit more from her, but you know what? I thought she did a good job in her role as an accomplice to Roman, and they got the job done. I mean, I'm trying to remember in Scream 3, I don't believe anyone survived other than the OGs now, but like the other disposable characters, if you will. I believe that everyone that she went after died. I don't think anyone survived. So I've got her, you know, she was 100% successful on her kills. So I'll come back for a little while now. All right, I think my eye is cooperating with me now. So
looks good. Let me see.
Thank you. Don't look too red, does it?
No, it looks totally good. Yeah,
good.
If you were in Black Christmas, you could totally get the part with the eye in the hole.
Oh, no, not the eyeball. Oh, gosh.
I believe it.
Oh, it's a horrifying scene.
If you were an eye actor, I'm just saying I would hire you.
Oh, an eye actor. Okay. Maybe I'll you know, get with the SAG and you know, get with the union for eyeball acting. Maybe that's something I could pursue as a side hobby. But outside of that, Angelina Tyler, you know, I think she, you know, again, we're 7 out of 10, so she's not really high up, but she's better than the previous ones in my book. I think she does rank higher, and she had more personality than Amber had, you know, and I think that, and Charlie both. She had more personality than both of those two. So those, on personality alone, she's ahead of them for me. So.
Addressing something in the chat. Oh, hey, Zigma's here. Tara said meow. Tara is my niece. It's his cat he's had for 12 years. Jen, why can't I get super chats? You know, that's a very good question. It's because this channel is not monetized. I have enough subscribers. I don't have enough watch time. But you guys can always support the channel by joining the B Movie Coven on Patreon. Watching the videos, helping me get that watch time, giving a thumbs up. Those things are all very good. But you know, I'm getting there. I've got about 1,300 hours right now. So
Okay.
Keep streaming, keep believing,
Yes.
keep chasing that dream.
Let's keep watching her videos on replay. Let's get this watch time up. Gory has earned the right to be monetized. With your content is so good.
Oh, thank
so
you.
let's help her out. Let's stream these things. Let's hit play.
Thanks,
Let them
buddy.
go on while we're working, while we're doing whatever we're doing, and get those watch time hours up. Let's see what we can do, guys. Let's get her to that 4,000
Awesome.
number.
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be awesome. That would be really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think we're done with Angelina. Yeah.
Yeah, I think bye Angelina.
Angelina, it's been swell, but
But,
the swelling's
Gory-
gone down.
We may see her again. Don't rule it out.
Like I said, she could skyrocket up this list for me if she
Yeah.
comes back and we get a little bit more. I mean,
Yep.
it really just kind of depends on if she comes back. And also, these things change with rewatches and stuff, too. So it's not like I'm going to
So
be, like,
true.
married to this list until I die.
Hey, anytime I give a ranking, I didn't do it tonight, but I'll do it now. Anytime I give a ranking on anything with Scream, I always say this could change in 5 minutes. This is how I'm feeling right now at this moment in time. It could.
You listen to somebody else's perspective, that could change it. You watch the movie
Yeah.
in a different light. You're in a, like the Friday the 13th movies, my rankings change so much almost every year. I rewatch them and I'm like, I'm having more fun watching this one now. So it's crazy how
Yeah.
it changes. It's really crazy.
It is.
All right, so my number 6, I have to look because I have the
Ooh.
memory of a
Me
goldfish.
too. Trust me. Oof.
Okay. I'm a little scared.
Oh, no.
All right. You're not going to be upset if it's Stu, right?
At 6?
Are we still going to be friends if it's Stu?
I won't let it become between us too much, but I'll need a couple of days to recover.
How much is it going to come between us? Do we need to have, like, YouTube friend therapy?
We'll have to talk after the live stream and
Okay,
figure it out.
don't worry, because it's Charlie. I was just
Oh, don't
joshing
scare
you.
me like that.
Okay.
Oh my
The
gosh.
color drained from your face.
Seriously, I mean, I'm driving the stew train up here, and all of a sudden the handle starts shaking. I'm like, what's going on? Hello, what's happening here?
You're just like,
You're scaring
we need to
me.
revoke her ticket.
Yeah.
She's going
Next
back
stop.
to the booze.
I swear, man, if you just said stew at 6, we may just wanted to throw you off the next. We wouldn't even wait for the next exit. We'd just been like, somebody just open the door and go, "Oops, sorry." No, I wouldn't do that to you.
Don't worry, it's not Stu. It's not Stu. It's Charlie. It's Charlie.
Okay.
So
All right.
Charlie, I was actually really surprised by, because initially, if you had just asked me before I did the whole spreadsheet thing, I would have had him ranked a lot lower. And then I was thinking about it because I used to credit Jill for a lot of the kills. But, the opening kill, Olivia, as you mentioned, Anthony Perkins, a lot of the really great kills in this movie were him.
Yep.
And he was a good duo with Jill. I liked that he had kind of this shy, nerdy thing. It was enough to make me like him, like he's somebody I would have hung out with. But it was also not so much that I still suspected him. And that's really the biggest thing holding him back. I was not at all surprised that he was one of the killers.
Yeah.
And I also think it was a nice little gut punch for the fans, because I think we're all kind of rooting for him and Kirby. And then you find out he's with Jill. And that was one of the few reveals that there were a couple at the end that kind of worked for me, because, it's subverting the audience's expectations, which Scream does that so well. Did not work for me with Richie and Amber. It did work for me with Charlie and Jill. And I also like how, like, they're kissing and Jill's looking at us and we're like, oh, she's musing you. She is using this poor boy who has never gotten a girl. And that's a big part of it. Yes, he is a fanatical Stab fan. Yes, his initial draw into this world is he wants to remake Stab and outdo the original ending. But I definitely think a lot of it was, he did it all for the nookie. So you can take that cookie,
Yes. That's
Yeah,
right.
because it's
100%.
he finally gets a girl, and so it's like I think that kind of, gave him the push to go forward with this. And I think, if anyone got radicalized, he probably did by finally getting his first girlfriend and saying, oh yeah, you can do this,
Yes.
But I liked a lot of his character. I liked the Stabathon and all that. I liked his banter with the other kids. I would have still liked him even if he wasn't a Ghostface. And I also like when the Ghostfaces have dimension to them. And one of my favorite parts with him, where I think we saw some real dimension, is when he's stabbing Kirby. He's like, it's too late. Like, he's crying. He actually really liked this girl. And you almost kind of feel for him, you know? And, yeah, so I think Charlie is a little underrated. I definitely think I probably have him ranked higher than a lot of people, but I do like, I like Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, he really was at that point. He was so far into it, there was no turning back at that point. There's no way. And he didn't, Trevor had to mess it up, man. He had his moment. Kirby was going in. They were going in for it, and there comes Trevor and just messes it all up. Of course, don't know if that would have changed anything or not, but that really set him off, though. I mean, remember how Charlie got up? He was just furious. Just storms out of there.
Jammer for sure, dude.
Oh, that guy was just worthless. Oh my gosh, yeah, he was totally worthless character.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Like, other people who are in that movie, like, considering, like, you know, there's Trevor, there's Robbie, there's other. I'm glad it was Charlie. You know, because I think he's one of the characters that we really grew to like in that movie. So I would rather it be somebody like that. And I feel like you don't need to have it all spelled out for you. I understood his motive pretty well, and it made sense to me. It seemed like something that would really happen, were these things actually, you know, reality.
Yeah, I think, and you made a good point. And you know, just to piggyback on that real quick, I think that Jill was such a master manipulator, like at epic levels of mastery. And she used her body, if you will, to basically hook him in to do anything she wanted. He was so completely committed to this relationship and involved in it so much to the point where he would do anything. And literally, of course, obviously he's not mentally balanced. You're not going to just kill people because you're in love with someone or infatuated, obviously. But you know what I'm saying? If you have someone like this who's obviously has some issues, they're not stable, whatever's going on there, and you have the right manipulative person who can, over time, get you and mold you into this mindset and this relationship, it can be a powerful thing. So Charlie just succumbed to it.
She saw the potential there. I think she heard him in his film club talking about how they need to remake it, and she charged him up. Also, I will say, being somebody who was like the weird goth girl in high school, when somebody sees you when you're invisible, you will go to the ends of the earth for them. He was invisible, and she saw him. And so he will betray Kirby for her.
Yep, 100%.
All right, number 6, Stephen.
All right, my number 6 is Nancy Loomis, Debbie Salt.
I was wondering if she was going to come up.
Now, don't get salty with me, Gory. It's Debbie Salt.
Salty?
No, I had to go with Debbie Salt because the biggest thing I think that drove this score up for me with her was number 1 on predictability. And again, I did not expect it at all. I know some people I've talked to thought they saw it coming a mile away. I'm not. I was not one of those people. It really did catch me by surprise. Whenever Mickey was like, "I told you I had a partner, Sid," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" I remember the first time in the theater. I'm like,
"No."
Yeah, I'm like, "Who?" And then Gail opens the door. You're like, "Oh wait!" Just for a second, my heart's like, "What? No!" And then of course, we see the reveal. I was surprised. So I love the surprise factor. If you can surprise me, you're going to earn a lot of points for me. So, and I know Debbie Salt really didn't do, or Mrs. Loomis, whichever way you want to use it. She didn't do a lot of the killing. We know she killed Randy. She confessed to that. She got a little knife happy, with Randy. But I don't know that she killed anybody else. She probably didn't. I think Mickey was the one that did all the heavy lifting, much like Amber did in 5. I think that was pretty much kind of the same thing. But I love that it was a surprise. It caught me by surprise. It was not predictable. And I love her motive. Pure old-fashioned revenge. That's just, the great motive. Among the best motives anyone could have is pure revenge. So, revenge factor, predictability being so low, it really moved her up to this position of number 6 on my list.
And it makes you understand, I think, Billy a little bit more. Because she says, you don't know what it is to be a mother, to raise a child and guide them. So he was raised by a crazy woman.
Exactly.
You know, and then she walked out on him, and I think obviously that's part of what made him snap. But you also realize, like, this person raised him. She's obviously mentally unbalanced. So a lot of that is just from being raised by her.
Not only her genetics, but the environment.
Yeah.
And it does speak a lot to that, because it's not just like this is a totally normal person. That's normal people. Mentally balanced people don't do that. They don't go psycho like this and recruit a serial killer. And so clearly that you're right. It does show that Billy's home life may have been an absolute disaster, really, really tough. And he always, and it also shows that inherent, and not that it's all genetics, because our environment is a factor too. But I think we see here the case for why Billy was the way he was. So that's a good point. Yeah.
I just wish they would have shown us more. Like, they say she's lost a lot of weight and stuff. Like, I didn't understand the point of that. Like, we don't know what she looked like before, so what's the point of the whole makeover thing?
Like all the plastic surgery.
Hadn't seen her before, and she would have recognized her if she did. So who cares if? I guess maybe because Gail might have recognized. I don't know. I thought that was weird. And I guess the only hint we have is that she killed Randy right after he said something about Billy. But I would have liked more of a hint.
Right.
I like, this is why I like Scream 3 more than a lot of people like it. Because I like the Scooby-Doo of it all. I like the clues. I like the breadcrumbs. And I watch these movies, and when I see them for the first time, I'm actively trying to figure out who the killer is. And when I feel like you're pulling one out from under me, I get a little knife happy.
Yes.
But I absolutely really respect your opinion here, and I think you got some great points about why she deserves to be number 6.
Oh, thank you.
Dun, dun, oh my gosh, we are getting into it, man. Number 5. Oh wait, hold on.
Woo, top 5.
Right, let's see what's going on here in the chat. I'm just gonna grab one. Extron says, I also think Hank Loomis didn't care for Billy. That makes me sad. We need to explore Hank Loomis, I think, a little more. You know what's creepy when you think about, well, not creepy, just interesting. When you think about Mrs. Loomis, she's Sam's grandma.
That's right. And look at Sam. And look at Sam. So look, and Billy's daughter, and look how she is taking the antipsychotic drugs. She's fighting some of the same mental demons and instability that Billy and his mom had. Mm-hmm. It's passed generationally. Right down, and still going.
But yeah, it's weird watching that movie now and being like, that's Sam's grandma.
Yeah. I did a whole video, Gory, on Hank Loomis. Like, could he come back in 6? Because how cool would it be now that he knows he has a granddaughter, which he probably never knew until now. And I would like to see Hank be this kind of like compassionate, kind of like all the things that have happened with his son and his ex-wife. He's like, look, I can't make up for what they've done, but I'm not those people. I want to love you. I want to know you, and be a support person in Sam's life in 6. I think would be really cool to be a grandpa.
That could be really good. I mean, because we don't know much about him. All we know is he had an affair with Maureen Prescott. We briefly saw him, in flashbacks, but. Yeah, I think that's something that's worth exploring for sure. Absolutely. Everyone's talking about who is Tara's dad, but yeah, definitely Hank Loomis is a little bit of an untapped story potential.
Yep, it is.
Extron says, I mean, Hank barely knew where Billy was at night. He didn't care for him. I think that's true with Hank, or with Billy and Stu. You get the impression that their parents really are not keeping track of them. They're... especially with Stu, you see that it's his birthday if you look at the whiteboard, and Mom and Dad are gone for 2 weeks. It's like, okay, I'm starting to see where this is coming from, because it's, again, when someone sees you, when you're invisible, if you're invisible to your parents and you have a friend who sees you and is there for you and loves you, you will go to the ends of the earth for that person. But we're going to get to Stu and Billy, guys. Stop jumping the train. Stop it.
Well, but Gory, also a parallel to what you just said. Look at the parents in 5. Tara's mom is in London, and she doesn't even fly home when her daughter is attacked, nearly dead.
Who does that?
She's still there at the end of the movie. I'm like, what do you do? What, are you kidding? Like, that's just terrible parenting in this franchise.
That's really awful. And I do like when movies, like the best example would probably be Star Wars, when they show you the hero and the villain are basically the same person if they took different paths. So, like Tara, for example, she's got this whole thing of being neglected by her parent, like Billy, like Sam. But is she going to go a different way and become a hero? Like, what does that look like when you decide to use that to empower you to do something better? You know, because we've seen what it looks like when it turns someone into a villain. So I'm rooting for Tara to kind of step up and be the final girl.
Yes.
I
want Sam to give in and
I think
Tara
Sam was
to step
introduced as the main character in this one because we needed to be in her point of view to see that she has visions. And they wanted to establish that and kind of establish that she's got this energy to her that's like really violent that needs to be unleashed. And I don't think she's actually going to be a Ghostface killer, but I feel like the next movie is going to make Tara the main character, and they're really going to make it to where that Sam is a major suspect because we're like, well, she's got visions. She's kind of not quite there, so that we're always suspecting her.
Yeah.
You know?
She's going to be so easy to make a red herring.
Absolutely.
In 6.
But we wouldn't be able to do that if we hadn't seen into her head. And so I feel like 6 was kind of like, you know, like, again, like Star Wars, you know? And I'm hoping the next one's like Empire, where we dig deep into these characters, and it's really great, and it's better than the original, you know?
Yes. I think 6 could be better than 5. Or it could be worse than 5.
If they dig into the characters and explore what they've created instead of trying to reinvigorate what Wes did.
Yes.
Let Wes's stuff be Wes's stuff.
That's right. Yes, 100%. And that's what, to me, is going to determine whether this trilogy is going to be looked back upon as an amazing new start, or if it's going to be looked back upon as a meh start. Because it's going to depend on what they're doing. And that's what so scared me so much, Gory, when I saw the production offices of Scream 6 are across the street from McGill University in Montreal, literally across the street. You walk into the university. And when are they filming the movie? In summer break. It's June 4th to August, June 6th to August 10th. So it's a college, right? So they're filming during the college summer break, which is the perfect time to film on a college campus. They just have summer classes, less students, less teachers, everything else. And McGill University is known as a film-friendly college. They actually have a tab on their website. You can literally look at the hours they charge to film there. I mean, a couple X-Men movies have been filmed there, a bunch of films. So I'm like, okay, wait a second. A film-friendly college, their production offices are across the street, and they're filming not in the fall or in the spring. They're filming in summer, where in the summer break is happening. These are 3 pretty compelling lines of evidence. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I'm a little bit nervous that they're following the Scream 2 mold, and they're going to try to pay homage to Wes Craven's Scream 2.
I hope
and again, I know, I'm nervous because now if you go that route, you're just now again, who are you going to be compared to? Scream 2, which was a brilliant sequel.
But I mean, hopefully they'll do the college atmosphere and college setting and do their own thing with it. Embrace your own characters. Make us love them like we love Sydney, Dewey, Gail, Randy. Make us love them because I loved them by the end of the first movie. I'm not fully in love with these characters yet, and I want to, so let me get to know them. Let me spend more time with them. I mean, like, it's like introducing me to a bunch of new people, but you've also got all my old friends there. I'm going to talk to my old friends. I'm not going to bother with these new people.
Right, and it's funny how so many people, like, whenever you say something like this, there are some people that are like almost offended, like you're supposed to just love them like you love the originals. Like, first of all, I have 25 years with these characters, watching these movies countless times. I mean, probably in the hundreds, Gory, of times, and knowing the script inside and out. You and I could watch any of the 4 Screams and we could count it. We could say the script. I mean, you can't just bring in a whole new family group and just expect it to mesh like the other, like everyone else. You have to get into your groove, and and Scream 5, frankly, is still working its groove into my viewing catalog. It's kind of still like The Outsider for me. I'm still trying to work it in. At 8, I've watched it 8 times, and I'm going to watch it another 10 or 20 and see how I feel about it. But
it also just did too much of what Scream 4 did, and I feel like Scream 4 did it a little more organically and meshes with the other movies better. So I hope they do their own thing. But
Have you been in my brain lately? Because like we're like thinking exactly the same on this thing. It's crazy.
we have similar thoughts. I wonder
We
if we're
do.
gonna have similar thoughts about number 5. Because
Ooh.
we're getting into the big ones here. I don't think any
Yes.
of the top 5 either of us have mentioned yet. So it's anyone's game right now.
It is.
My number 5, dun 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 dun, is Roman Bridger.
Ooh.
Everybody. So
Yeah.
Roman, what is the story with Roman? Okay, 1, Scott Foley. Don't mind some of that yumminess on the camera, please and thank you. I love his motive. I think his motive is perfection. I think Sydney has been struggling so hard with her mom. Like, she has this arc. She thinks in the first one her mom was murdered, and it's simple, and it's clean, and it was unfair. And then she finds out she didn't know her mom as well as she thought she did, and it kind of puts her in this whole place, and she's dealing with it. She pushes it away. She confronts it, but it's messy for her because to her, that was just mom. And now all these people are saying horrible things about her and stuff, and she's trying to connect that to the mother she knew. Roman is dealing with that too, only he didn't get to be a part of her life. He wasn't even welcome to. So you can see why he's so angry. And Sydney, he lost his mom too. And sometimes losing something that you never had, like the hope of ever being welcome into that person's life, the hope that they'll change, it's gone. Even though he was a part of it, he did lose his mom, and now there's no hope that that's ever going to change. But only Sydney gets to mourn publicly. Only people only understand that Sydney is in pain, not him. Nobody knows that he lost his mom. And so I understand that jealousy and stuff. He's also in the entertainment business, and Sydney has movies made about her. Sydney has books written about her. And here he is struggling to make movies and stuff, and she effortlessly is a household name. So his motive makes 100% sense to me. The quote I have for him here is, "You're going to pay for the life you stole from me." He feels entitled to that. He is also her firstborn child.
That's true.
And then it also makes you sad. The moment when they hold hands, you're just like, these are two people who are desperate for family right now. And if they had if Roman had gone about this differently, they could have healed each other. Maybe mom wasn't receptive, but, maybe he could have gone to Sydney and been like, yeah, our mom doesn't want anything to do with us, but I'm your brother.
Yeah.
One, their mom wouldn't have died, and, I don't know, it would have probably been Dawson's Creek then or something, and I wouldn't have watched it. So just forget I said anything. That was really dumb. I'm glad you're killing people, Roman. Keep doing it. He's also brutal as all hell. He almost single-handedly runs this movie. I do like that it is a little different, that we don't have the whole two people together at the end thing. Whether he had a partner or not, that's still debatable. But he is holding his own at the end there, and he will not die. Yes, he's wearing a bulletproof vest. They're like, shoot him in the head, Dewey, but this man will not die. He is physically intimidating. The thing with Roman that makes it to where he's not higher on this list, because I'm singing his praises to the high heavens. I really like Roman. I really like that he had a brief Dawson's Creek clip that I think works because he was a filmmaker in Scream 5. I hope that we talk about him more in the movies. The thing that doesn't work is the setup. He takes off the mask and Sydney's like, who the fuck are you? She doesn't know who he is. She didn't even know who the director was. So she didn't get to play that game of guessing the suspect because it's not fair. She wasn't given all the pieces of the game. And that's really unfair. I wish that, maybe somehow, maybe he didn't have to be the director because that really didn't have, I guess it did. But maybe she could have talked to him earlier, or maybe he could have been a friend to her in the way that Kincaid was. I needed some kind of actual, sense of betrayal when he was revealed. Because it is a betrayal, but it's greater than she even realizes because that's her family.
Yes.
I want that betrayal on her face. And she's just I don't understand what the hell's going on.
Yeah, she's in shock, right?
Yeah.
She really is.
She's just who the hell are you?
Yeah.
I also wanted some more hints. He's kind of a nerdy, kind of sleazy director. There is absolutely no hint that he is her brother or he has anything to do with it. The only thing we have is if you look at the Maureen Prescott stuff, you see that she was obviously sexually, assaulted. You can probably well, maybe she had a kid or something. I mean, but You're kind of going down a weird rabbit hole there. I want more breadcrumbs. I want a more solid mystery. And the mystery, unfortunately, is what kind of let me down with that one, which sucks. It's such a cool Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh, it's great, but you're right. They're leaving it more to the audience to figure it out because, like you say, whenever he says, "Yeah, I knew," when Milton's like, "I knew Rena Reynolds," and she got in here and got involved, and he says things may have got out of hand. Remember and all that. So you're right. It's almost like left up to us to think, well, oh wait a minute, what if she, but it's not a natural conclusion to say she had a child from that. It's not. It's
you
just,
have to jump, and I don't like that.
You have to jump there.
Jump.
Right, making me jump.
I want to Sherlock this. I want to look at the clues and say, or even not get it right and be like, the clues were there. How did I miss that? Those are the ones I like, where I get it wrong, but I'm like, you gave it to me, though, and I missed it.
Yeah, and I was talking to Fate Decided the other day on either one of my streams or the Lethal Collective, I can't remember which one, and we were talking about this subject, this very thing, and we were talking about how all it would have taken to make this work a little better would have been to have one or two pictures, and like you have Maureen Prescott, the picture, that's great. Maybe the next one you have her either with a child or you have a baby, like a toddler boy.
Then you're looking for a baby.
You're looking for a baby, like there's something, or a kid, like a toddler, even if he's like 3 or 4, just something like, or what I'm trying to say, like just something like one clue is all we needed right there.
Even just having him have a lot of pictures of her in his house, because they're at his house, and he could be like, I love that movie she did. I'm a huge fan. I know it's weird and nerdy. He doesn't, you were like, he doesn't know he's talking to her daughter. Right. But like they could have done some stuff there. Like he could have, or maybe he did know and be like, oh my God, your mom, like she's in my favorite movie, and geeking out. True. And you're like, okay, is he a suspect or is he genuinely a fan? It's just like you're so close. You're so close.
Yeah. Right.
And I do love his performance. I do think he's intimidating, and I do feel for him. That part gets me every time where she holds his hand. It reminds me of like the end of H2O, where Lori is just like, there's something lost here. Even though you're evil, you're my family. You're my blood. You know? And it's sad. I'm sad for him when he dies.
Yeah, I know. And even Sydney grabs his hand at the end, because it's like even though they were just trying to kill each other, that's like my brother. That's a half brother. That's part of me. There is still a connection there. It's a human connection, and she never knew. And think of all the stuff. Tara talks about how you're coming home and you're dumping all this stuff on me. Talking about her. Think about how Sydney was feeling. She just got dumped on that. She has a brother she didn't know about, and that her brother's been trying to kill her and and everyone else, and she's trying to fight for her life.
And Heather mentions something that I hear a lot. She says, I think he messed up Stu and Billy's motive completely. I've heard that before. It doesn't bother me the way it bothers some people, because I feel he's like Jill. Jill saw Charlie and like, oh, 100%. You're a toy I can play with. I can use you as a piece in chess. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Roman sees this young boy who is angry that his mom has left, who is dating Sydney, so he's in the right position, who's obsessed with horror movies. Oh, that is your queen piece from chess right there. He was just smart enough to grab it. And I don't even know if he really cared about Stu. I think Stu is just Billy's best friend, and that's how Stu got into it. But I think he saw Billy, and he's like, I can use you. And all he had to do was just push him in the right direction, because that's a firecracker that was ready to go off. It might have gone off without Roman. He just nudged it. Nudged it. That's all you had to do. All you had to do.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't bother me. Does it bother you?
No, not at all. Roman is one of the most masterful manipulators of the franchise. There's 2. And I won't say who else I'm talking about, but Roman is definitely one of them. And so I think he was a fantastic in that role. Yeah, it's great.
And Extron, even if his mom didn't accept him, you shouldn't kill innocent people. Bad Roman. That's a bad Roman. You do that outside.
Yeah. It's definitely not a form of helpful therapy. Homicide is not good therapy.
But like I said, guys, there's a multiverse version of this. There's a multiverse version where he goes and he sees Sydney at school. He's just been turned away by their mom. And he goes up to her and is like, can we have lunch? I'm your brother. And they hug, and then Sydney eventually brings him to dinner at Thanksgiving with their mom, and then she cries. And that's not a movie I would watch. So let's just accept it. Because fuck that movie.
That's awesome.
Coming this fall.
Coming.
When you thought family was gone. When you thought love was lost.
Nothing brings family together like a buck 120 knife in your birthday cake.
No. So yeah, it's fine. Sometimes you just have to be like, cause movie. All right, my friend, I want to know what
who you're
Steven's
picking.
number 5.
All right, here we go. My number 5 is Mickey Altieri. I believe is how we say it.
I think that's how you say it.
I think it's Altieri. Mickey is number 5.
Boom.
My number 5 right there. And I love Mickey. I tell you.
The ones we like now.
Yes, it's from here on out. It's going to be completely fun to talk about these people because these are the good ones. Now we're hitting the top 5. Mickey was great. I think that he holds I'm looking at my rankings right now for how I ranked him early. Lethality number 5.
Oh,
man.
fuck
all the way through the
he
roof.
Is scary.
Oh gosh, he is complete bonkers nuts. And that's why I love him.
He's so justified in it. Like, he believes he's doing... Like, you can't rationalize with him.
No. And he was a serial killer before he killed the people in Scream 3 or 2. Because she found him on a serial killer website. Yes. And remember, she's like, there's only... Well, I can't remember the number. There's only 60... active serial killers in the country or something, whatever number it was. So yeah, he was an active serial killer that it was all. So we don't even know about the victims before the ones in the movie. And I would love to see a prequel. Yeah, that's something that makes him very different than the others. Because I other than with Maureen Prescott being killed prior, this is the first one I know of that we know killed. But was already a murderer.
So he already from just Scream 2 has one of the highest Ghostface body counts.
He does.
And so when you consider that extends before he even was a Ghostface.
Yes.
Wow. And also, you know what? I love that you brought that up because, well, I'll talk more about it when I get to him on my list, but I do love that you brought that up. I'm going to come back to that.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big thing. So I love that about him, and he's physically fit as far as being able to take out. I would believe him killing anybody. Yeah, the guy was, there's not one character that I'd be like, nah, no way he would. No, I believe it. Everybody. And the only thing I wish for Mickey is that his screen time would have been more present. They didn't write him a ton on screen. We got him a few moments here and there.
There are a lot, though. I've heard people say that, and some of my favorite parts of the movie, there's a part where he's trying to be there for Sydney when she's at the police station. I love when he's doing his little dance. I put it in the intro video.
Yep.
The dance to Derek.
That's right.
He is there. I feel like everyone has that friend that's a little, kind of fades into the group, but he is in almost all the scenes.
I just think it'd have been fun to see more dialogue with him. I think I would have liked to have seen. That's all. Just more, more of him. I guess more of him, and then because he's doing most of the work. Like I talked about earlier with Debbie Salt, she kills Randy. I personally think everyone else is probably all Mickey, and so I don't know that, but I suspect that.
I think
so.
He's
busy.
Randy and Mickey, because she kills Mickey.
Yeah. Well, right. But as far as the other victims go, he had his hands full. He was a busy guy, and I love him, though. He was great, and I love that his motive is he's just nuts. The he wants to be on TV. He wants to go to court for a murder trial, and he's going to get paid off because he's going to blame it on the movies. The guy is psycho, bat blank crazy. You know what I'm talking about. He's gone. And I love that about it. And there's something terrifying about someone that is so irrational and so unhinged, but yet can be so controlled. Because, now, I will say this. He has those eyes. And there's something about the eyes.
Crazy
I'm telling you, though, there's eyes are a window to the soul. And there's some scenes with Mickey where even when he's being nice and compassionate, when he was trying to comfort Sydney, the look he has and his eyes are just.
That's all Timothy Olyphant, because I've seen him in like Santa Clarita Diet and Good Place and other stuff, and he just seems like salt of the earth, sweetheart kind of guy. Like he is so good in this role. Like even before he's revealed, like just enough in those eyes, like he said. That sparkle of madness.
It's totally there from the beginning. So yeah, I absolutely love Mickey. I think he's great. I would love to see the movie Mickey, the prequel, and find out who he was killing.
There's a horror movie
before
called Mickey that might be there. That might actually be the prequel. There's a horror movie about a child killer called Mickey.
Oh, wouldn't that be hilarious?
It might actually be your prequel.
The movie ends where he's going off to Windsor College.
Love it. I love it. So I saw that some of you guys are getting a little confused about where we are in the chat. If you look above the Ghostface killer, yeah, I'm pointing in the right direction. If you look above their picture, their dossier, so to speak, it will say the person whose pick it is, in this case Stevens, and what number we're at. So I know it's confusing because we have different rankings. We're pouncing back and forth. But if you're confused, you can just look at it up there. I got you covered, guys. I got you.
Love it.
Yeah, so let's see. Anything else you want to say about Mickey?
No, that's it. I just wish we'd had a little more of him because I liked him, and I thought he did great. He was a great hype man in the cafeteria. You know, got the claps going. Thank you. And he's just sitting there. Yeah, I had a little dance. It's really good.
I think it's adorable that he's like so happy for his friend being a dork. Like, I love it.
Love it. Totally. So no, that's really it. I think Mickey was great. One of my favorites. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love how Fate said, Craven already messed up, shaking my head, laugh out loud.
Oh my gosh, Fate. I think Mickey is like, I think Mickey might be his favorite Ghostface.
Is it?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Mickey to him. Like,
you know,
personality.
He does have a little bit of Mickey.
He's got the hair, too. Mickey
is that? I think maybe I should be a little bit scared of that. Should we be nervous about that?
You are more of a Derek. I'm just saying.
Hey, I am definitely more of a Derek. Thank you. I take that as a huge compliment.
Screen 2, I would say, if I were to say you're like a character, I'd say a Dewey or a Derek.
Oh, well, thank you.
He's definitely a Mickey. I'm worried.
He's a Mickey.
I'm worried.
Hands down. Well, you know what? I got two of the guys in the collective, so I need to throw them up in front of me. I don't know who they are, but who they would be as far as characters go.
Oh, can we do that really quick? Okay, Jake.
Would Jake be Randy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake is Randy. It's got to be.
Knight?
Oh,
part 2. Because I know who I'd pick in part 3.
Ooh. Who would you pick in part 3? I'm curious.
I would have picked the detective for Knight.
Oh, okay. You talking about Kincaid?
Yeah.
Kincaid, got it. Yep.
And part 2?
For part 2? So let's just say I'm Derek. Oh, let's go with that. Because that was your first gut instinct.
You're
you said Derek.
Jake
is Randy. Would he be... Jake is Randy. Would Knight be... Would Knight be Dewey? Or no? I don't know.
Not in part 2. No, definitely not in part 2.
No. Cotton? No.
No, definitely not.
No, definitely not Cotton. I'm going through my hit. Joel?
I want maybe Sydney.
Joel, maybe?
Joel's
an easygoing guy. He's got a great sense of humor.
Shit. And I actually think I love the part where Joel is like, people are dying. I'm out.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I think Knight would do that. I think Knight would be the first one to say, you know what? Here's my stuff, guys. Have a nice life.
The only black male character in the movie.
It has nothing to do with that, Knight.
Nothing to do with that.
I swear it has nothing to do with that. Hey, there you go. See, look, Fate's
Kincaid in 3.
Fate is saying it right here, too. Fate agrees. He said Knight's Joel because he would get the heck out of there. That's what we're just talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
Knight would have the brains to leave. I'd be there to the very end to try to make sure everything's okay and protect Knight's whoever. Smart. You know, yeah. And then
and the fact that Joel comes back.
And he does come back.
Because Knight isn't a coward and Knight would do it.
Yes. That's right.
100%. We're so like getting into our friends. Just out of curiosity, who would I be? I'm not in the collective, but you know.
Oh, listen, you got it.
We're not friends.
Dang it! You took it. No, I'm kidding. No, you're not. You're not. No, you're 100% Sidney Prescott.
Really? You're so sweet. Thank you.
No, 100%. And I really mean. That's who I would pick for you all day long.
I adore you. See, this is what you guys feel the love here.
I do.
Feel the scream of tonight.
Tonight.
Jen and Brandon are in the chat.
Hey,
Mr.
Jen and
Flicker,
Brandon.
And they decided we may not agree, but we're friends. I'm so
Yes,
sorry,
we
guys.
are. Oh, we are. Isn't it great that you can have a collective group of individuals that love the same thing but feel differently about it, and it's all good?
Yeah,
it's all
like
good.
That. And I feel like horror is one of the few fandoms where you can have that, where you can have a friend say, yeah, I really hate that movie that you love, but I love you, and I love your thoughts in it. And I always tell people, like, if it's a movie I don't like, the fact that you love a horror movie makes me love you, because I think it's the best and most interesting genre there is. So even the worst horror movie to me is better than any other movie in any other genre. So, yeah, there's no reason to get upset about it. There's no reason to get toxic about it. We're not Star Wars people.
We're not Amber and Richie.
Brandon says, I have a Scream 3 variant of Gale. Is it because of my bangs? Oh, God. Are my bangs bad?
Oh, no. Let me see your bangs. No. I didn't think about the bangs at all until you just said it.
Oh no!
But your bangs actually fit. They work right. They look. It's
because
hers
are
are just
baby bangs.
That's what I'm saying. They were way little baby bangs.
Way too short and choppy.
Just way too short.
I actually am working on a Gale cosplay, and I think you know what for.
I've heard.
Oh! Can you hear that?
I do.
What is that?
I don't know. I didn't touch a single button.
Ow! It stopped.
There it goes.
It stopped.
That stopped. Yeah.
That was weird.
It's a ghost in the machine. It happens all the time. I don't know. It's just
Extron says Tatum and Kirby are also good. Say, okay, I love everybody here. You're all great. Everyone's on my good side. Just don't call me Mrs. Loomis, and we're best friends.
If we're going back to Scream 1, you're 100% Tatum.
I love Tatum.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That's my only complaint with Scream 1 is I wish that there was a little bit more of a, like, Dewey being like, at least when he's on the stretcher saying, where's Tatum? Because that's his baby sister.
Yeah.
But I love her. I think she... And it wasn't until I heard Rose McGowan say it in an interview where she's like, dude, nobody cared that I died? I'm like, oh, you're right. And that's what I'm saying. When you watch interviews, you listen to your friends, you get different perspectives. But I still think that's a perfect movie. Like, it doesn't ruin it. But it's just one of those things like, oh, Tatum, my girl.
Tatum.
All right, I'm getting off
She was a great character.
I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what that buzzing was. I think it's Amber.
Maybe. She may not be very happy with our rankings.
She has terriered into the live stream, and now, first she makes my buddy blind, now she's messing with our ears. Sorry, guys.
Like when I describe her sometimes, Amber, and she's like that.
She reminds me of like little terrier. I mean, I have little terrier dogs, so she reminds me of
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so segueing here, but there's a point. I used to deliver newspapers when I was a kid, and it wasn't the big dogs that scared me. It was the little, like, terriers and poodles, because they would bite. They would bite. They're mean. That's what she is. That's what she is.
Chihuahuas, too.
Those suckers are,
all right. Those are yappers.
I don't even know. Why do I do these things? Why do I change stuff? Hopefully I'm still making sense. I'm on this I'm on this stew train. All the fumes are getting to me. I'm a little lightheaded. I'm having a good time. I hope you guys are having a good time. Fate says the aliens are listening. He would know.
Yes.
Right? That's where you got his 3-second powers from. Pretty impressive.
Oh gosh. Is it really?
I'm sorry.
Does 3 seconds really require a lot of power? I mean, that's all I'm going to say.
It does. It does. Like when you get a toothbrush. I'm going to just Fate. This is for you, buddy. When you get a toothbrush, right? You can have a manual one. Which how many vibrations are you getting a minute? Like maybe 1. Right? You don't want that one. You want the one that's going to give you like 40,000 vibrations a minute, 90,000 vibrations a minute, right? He is the sonic toothbrush of men. He's just doing a lot more in a shorter amount of time.
Oh, man. Well, let me get my boots on, Gory. It's getting really thick in here.
I feel bad because Fate's the whipping boy of the Lethal Collective. I feel like someone's got to get his back.
Listen, don't feel bad for Fate. If Fate will be the first one to say, don't feel bad for me. Let me tell you what. Oh, no. No. We love Fate. We know you love. We love you, Fate.
I know you guys do. It's awesome. I love the Lethal Collective. You guys are like a brotherhood, like fellowship of the stew.
It's true.
Well, not really.
Well, 3 of us are Fellowship of the Stew. But it is like our brotherhood, Gory. Yeah, it really is. It's how it feels for all four of us. It just, it's like brother. We're just getting together, and it's just that collective brotherhood. We
It's kind of
sometimes
like
get passionate and disagree, but we always love each other. We're always at the end. It's our relationship is always the most important thing.
it's kind of like I found Knight first, and I was watching his show, and then it's like when you watch a movie in the MCU, like you watch a movie like Iron Man, you're like, oh, I really like Iron Man. You find out, oh, there's an Avengers movie, there's other characters, and then like you find all these other ones in the universe. And then the Lethal Collective is like the Avengers movie where they all come together. So I'm a big fan of the whole cast. You guys are all great.
Oh, thank you.
But I love
Thank
that
you,
I've made really awesome new friends this year, and that is a big part of what inspired me to get back into streaming. So, yeah, I love you guys.
Oh,
Sorry to be all mushy.
I love it. And I am so glad that I have had the chance to meet you, and our relationship has had a chance to get off the ground and get started and get rolling. And you bring so much, to the experience, and knowing you is just making this even better. So I love it. So
yeah, we
it's
awesome.
awesome.
Talk about stuff we love together. So
yes.
I'm not gonna remove the picture because you know what my number 4 is? It's Mickey.
Ooh,
Which I got these names. I got these names, guys, off of the Scream Wiki. Where the hell did they get the last name Altieri? Is it in the script or something?
Mickey Altieri? I think it is.
It must be in the
pretty
script.
sure it is.
I've seen that movie a dozen freaking times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it.
Yep.
Anyway, I speak in movie quotes.
It's a great
Mickey,
movie.
I love what you said about how he was already a serial killer, because it makes me like him even that much more, because Mickey's whole thing, and I think especially those of us who were, like at least teenagers in the 90s, like you remember this maybe a bit better, but court cases were like a huge thing, like almost kind of like now with the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, how people watch that.
Oh yeah.
Back then it was like everyone was watching OJ, or there was the Menendez brothers, or Amy Fisher, and even if you didn't watch it, it was on hard copy, and there was TV movies of every different perspective of it, like they became celebrities. Everybody knew who Joy Buttafuoco and Amy Fisher and all of these people were. Everybody knew them.
I haven't heard these names in forever.
Yeah. Like it was they were celebrities. They were more famous than most actors in Hollywood at the time. So it made perfect sense. His motive made perfect sense. Now I like what you said, because you said, he was a killer beforehand. So think about this. Like outside of your normal, beautiful, rational brains, think about it as a serial killer. Their craft, their hobby is killing. Imagine you're grinding out. You're trying to be successful at your hobby. Maybe like YouTube. Maybe it's a sport. And you're not getting any of that shine. You're not getting those subscribers. You're not being picked first on the team. You're going to get a little frustrated. That's what it's like for him. He's killing people. Nobody knows who the hell he is. Meanwhile, all these people like OJ are on TV. And he thinks to himself, you know what serial killers are on TV? The Woodsboro murders. If I get involved in this, then yes, I will get the silver play button of killing.
Bingo.
Huh?
I like that. That's awesome.
I might have just
silver
lost
play
everybody
button
in the
of
chat,
killing.
but at least you get it. At least you know what I'm saying.
I do.
So yeah, I completely agree with everything you're saying. I love his energy. It was unique to him. It wasn't. It didn't feel like a copycat of Billy or Stu, which were the ones we had at the time. You got the impression that he genuinely loved what he was doing. I also like, especially with the early ones, you could kind of tell like who was Ghostface sometimes by the way they stepped. Well, they did a good job of that in Scream 5. I will say that. You can tell when it's Amber. But like even when they're crawling over him, like you can see that it is Timothy Olyphant in the mask. Just the way he carries himself and everything. He had a presence even before he was revealed. That part where they're like, oh, they always come back, and they're looking at Mrs. Loomis, and then he comes up and he is insane.
Yes,
insane.
totally.
He is horrifying. It's one of the most horrifying moments of any Scream movie. He's genuinely scary. He is not somebody that I would want to go up against. I know.
No.
If you're looking at Scream killers, like who would you survive? I don't think I'd survive Mickey. And it sucks because I like Mickey. I would have had so much fun in that film class. Even though Randy pisses me off in that film scene. Guys, okay, Pacey got it right. Pacey got the aliens quote right. That sadly is why Randy died. Because in this film community we have, you can correct your friends, but you better be right. And if you're not, you're going to get randied.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's terrifying to think that I would not want to be, you could never be comfortable around someone that you knew was that unstable and at any moment could just flip the switch on at will. That's terrifying. You can't let your guard down. Ever.
Oh, I like what somebody said here in the chat. Where did it go? Someone said they gave him that last name, or maybe they gave him that last name because they had to change the script and he was the alternate killer. That's true. He was not originally the killer. I know.
Yep.
I think it was Hayley and maybe Derek.
It was Derek and Hayley that were the original killers with Mrs. Loomis.
Yeah.
And then the only thing they kept for the rewrite was Loomis as the mastermind, but they changed it then to Mickey as the killer.
Mickey, the freaky Tarantino film student.
Yeah, that's it.
Love it. All right, but yeah, Mickey's great. From here on up, it's only good stuff. It's only good stuff. These are great characters, and I do feel like he is, like, when I rewatch it, some of my favorite parts are where he's not saying anything at all. I love that little dance he does. He has great energy. He's somebody who I know I would be in trouble because I'd want to hang out with this guy. This guy's cool. He's somebody I would have on a stream.
Yeah.
Wait, I have Steven on a stream. Let's not think too much about that.
Oh,
number 4.
Hey, man. You just never know. Stay tuned.
Nah, you're total Derek energy. I'm okay. Just,
Oh. Yeah.
Hey! Annie's here. How's it going, Annie? Number 4, Steven, are you ready for this?
Oh, man, here we go. Okay, number 4. Oh, boy. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. It is Mr. Roman Bridger.
Oh, that's right. You didn't do Roman yet.
Nope.
Okay.
Yes. Number 4 is Roman. Yes, I know we talked about him for a little while ago, but
now it's your turn to talk about him.
Yeah, so I love Roman. He is, in many ways, Gory, the ultimate mastermind, because he is the one that we got this thing set up from the beginning, and there's only what I consider two, and now there's 2. Let's put it this way: from 1 to 4 movies, first 4, there's only 2 people that I consider to be genuine, brilliant mastermind manipulators. One of them is Roman Bridger, without a doubt.
Completely
Mad respect for this guy in terms of what he did. He was in control, and I was having this discussion with Fate Decided, believe it or not, on a live stream on my channel the other day, and we were talking about how him and I both agree on this, and as he always says jokingly, he actually, I know that's the reaction most people get. They're like, y'all agreed on something? Because there's only like 2.
Well, good.
It's on the stream, but we rarely have something where we come to the table and we 100% agree on. But this is one, which is we both agree that it's very possible that the Ghostface creeper in the grocery store and at Tatum's house in Scream 1 could be Roman Bridger in the costume. Yes.
I agree with that.
100%. I really think.
It's also on the Scream Wiki, too, which I saw. And I was like, okay. So that's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think so. Yeah, I've thought a lot about, and I think, a lot of people said the guy in the bathroom is just a prankster, but,
That's a prankster, I think. Only because there was no knife, and there was, just before that, there were kids running around in Ghostface costumes. So I was like, and remember what happens after that. We see the 2 kids in the principal's office, remember? That he, slicing, he's got the scissors cutting the mask in the principal's office. So I think that was, but I do believe that, I really believe it's a very strong case you can make an argument that is Roman.
Hat Boy?
Which one?
Baseball Hat Boy. He's like my favorite background character. I love Baseball Hat
Boy. Oh, Baseball Hat Boy.
He gets pulled into Henry's office, and he's like, "Oh, you think this is funny?" And Baseball Hat Boy is like, "Yeah, come at me, bro." And then Baseball Hat Boy goes to Stu's house for the party, and then he's like, "Oh, rules are super cool. This is fun. I like Halloween." And then they're like, "Oh, by the way, the principal's dead." And he's like, "What? That's super cool." And then he leaves. Like, the character arc It's just
Yes.
beautiful. It speaks for itself.
What an arc. Let's go before they take him down.
Baseball
No,
Hat
one
Boy.
out of them.
That's who
Baseball
you
Hat
want
Boy.
in your stream next. You had Bathroom Girl. Now you need Baseball Hat Boy.
All right, I'll go to work
Go
on
find
that.
Baseball
I'll see if
Hat
I can
Boy.
get that lined up for you there, Corey.
you,
I will
thank
do
you.
my best. But yeah, so anyway, I think Roman was one of the most brilliant masterminds of this franchise that we've seen, and only him and only one other person I will put in this category in the first 4 films. I think they're at an elite level. And then with Scream 3, come on, man, that is his production. No pun intended. As a director, that's his production. He brings it. He gets Angelina recruited in as his girlfriend. They're doing their thing on the side, whatever. And she idolized Sid. Do you remember whenever the bathroom scene when Sydney opens sees the boots, those Ghostface boots Angelina's wearing, and she opens the stall up, and she's in awe of Sydney. If you ever watch closely, notice next time you watch Angelina, look at how she looks at Sydney.
I wanted to make you proud.
Yes, she's like almost starstruck. Much the same way Richie looks at Dewey at the trailer door when Sam and him first meet
Or
Dewey.
when he goes, "Oh, Ghostface!"
Yeah.
I
yeah.
love that
I know, that's a funny scene. But I'm telling you, this guy was a brilliant manipulator, and he was in total control of what he was doing. I wonder how many times he practiced this in his head. I mean, he had the remote control from Milton's house. He had everything going. And let's think about it. He's got Angelina helping him out. He goes down to the basement. He gets in the coffin. Very quickly, everyone's coming. Gail's coming down there. He's bloodied up. Got the fake knife in him. All this stuff. So he recruits her. I believe fake kills her. It's one stab to the upper left shoulder. Not to the heart like Charlie was with Jill. It's to the shoulder. And then, conspicuously, her body gets dragged away.
Uh-huh.
Like, what are you doing dragging her body away here? Wait a minute. What's going on? So, yeah. But, yeah, we talked about Angelina earlier. But I think Roman was absolutely awesome. He was tough. He was smart. And he was a brilliant manipulator. And if you're going to be a mastermind, you have to be good at all that.
And also to be a manipulator, you need to have charisma. And it's interesting because obviously Sydney has that. Because she has this group of friends that would die to protect her. And Roman also has people who will die to, put themselves in danger in order to enact, his wishes. He's manipulated Stu and Billy and, we think Angelina. So, yeah, there's a little bit of charisma to that.
There is. Yeah. No one's going to follow you if you're not followable. You got to have some component that people are attracted to want to listen to you and believe you. So, absolutely. He has it in spades in my book.
Roman. Awesome.
Roman.
Right, we're done with you, Roman.
Bye-bye, Roman.
Okay, I know, guys, this is like one of the longer streams I've done, but, hopefully you're still entertained. Hopefully they're still there. We're at number 3. We're chugging along, guys. We're chugging.
Listen, Gore, you know how I gauge the success of a live stream if people are still interested? Is if they're still watching. And we've still got a pretty good-sized crew. So
yeah, looks like people are watching. That's awesome.
I think that's my barometer on my live streams.
All right, so we're getting to this was hard. This was really hard. These top ones are hard for me. I don't know about you, but for me, it was really hard.
Now, believe it or not, the top 3 are my easiest ones of all of them.
Really?
The ones that were hard, 4 through 10 were the hardest for me. Yeah.
My number 3 is Jill. I am a big fan of Jill. I think she is fierce. She's got the manipulation that Roman had. She has that fierceness that we talked about with Amber. But I mean, it's crazy because usually in these movies, there's usually one killer who does a majority of the work, at least in a couple of them. But Jill and Charlie share the work evenly. And then also just how scary she is. She kills her own mother.
That's sick.
Like, that's horrible. She killed her own mother. Like, come on. This girl is cold. And she takes forever to die. I mean, she's got lethality, like, out the wazoo. And I liked her. I did like her. Like, she was a little bit of a sassier Sydney. Like, because Sydney was pretty vulnerable in the first movie. And she's just a little bit sassier. Yep. And I get it, too. Can you imagine? Like, already her mom has got kind of that poor me stuff. She's like, I got scars, too. And they're like, we're talking about physical scars. you know, she's already got a mom who has that kind of why not me mentality that she's being raised by, but to always hear about Sydney, Sydney, fucking Sydney. And she doesn't even really know Sydney, and that's what people know you for. So people are probably always asking her about it, and she just kind of snapped over it. I mean, this stuff would have happened when she was like a little kid, and it's Woodsboro, and it's all anybody ever freaking talks about. So yeah, I see where she's coming from, and she's smart in the way she chose Charlie and the way she went about this. Like, I think initially, yeah, she got him on board with, like, we could remake Stab. And then, you know, having a girlfriend and stuff is kind of what pushed him into maybe murder, which he might not have done otherwise. But she's smart. And, God, that scene where she kicks her own ass.
Oh!
It's a thing of beauty. She's ripping out clumps of hair. She's throwing herself through the glass coffee table. She's terrifying. I think I'm actually taller than Emma Roberts, but I would not go against this girl. This girl is terrifying. I would sooner go against Charlie in this movie than her, and I think Charlie is pretty lethal, but she scares me more than most of the Ghostfaces. She's cold-hearted. She's going to do that to her own mother. What would she do to anybody else? So,
I mean, everything. It's all off the. It's all off the table at that point. Anything can happen. You know, if you're going to do that, my gosh. Yeah, no, that was... Go ahead, sorry. Yeah, totally agree.
I didn't know that there were bully Jill Guire memes. Is that a thing?
What's that?
Mr. Flickster, I'm going off of the Scream Wiki here because she's in the house and Charlie is elsewhere. He is with Robbie.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be her that killed her mother.
Has to be Jill.
It's
the
only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty messed up. Yeah. See, Mr. Check Yourself. Mr. Check Yourself gets it. But no. You guys are all good. We can debate about it. It's fine. You don't have to...
No, but you're right. Your point is valid, though, because Charlie wasn't with them. Or wasn't there.
It was Robbie.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. All right. So now we're on your number 3, yeah? Are you getting nervous?
Yes. I am excited. I am excited because these 3 people are my favorite to talk about it.
But we have the same 3, huh? I mean, not in the same order, but they have to be the same people.
That's going to be I think our people are going to line up. It's going to be the order. I'm really curious to see if we're going to nail all 3 of these together.
I have a guess on what yours is. What is it?
Okay, my number 3 is Jill Roberts.
That was mine too!
Yes, we matched our third.
Or it's not on the Stu train. It's just, that's what I say whenever he does something that makes me happy. It's just what I do now.
Stu.
Oh yeah, we gotta get that Stu train. Just because. There you go.
The Stu train. I love it.
All right, let's hear about why you picked Jill.
All right, so Jill is my... she is amazing, okay? She's like so brutal, such a manipulator, and what stands out with her, and you touched on it already a little bit, to me what stands out with her more than any of the others is the self-mutilation that happens here. This is next level stuff now. It's not like just like get it up or, you know, whatever, like stab me, like, you know, you're just bracing the impact. No. She's doing it to herself.
She would just deal with it.
Oh yeah. This woman was a machine. She is a friggin' machine. And she can turn off her emotions like on a dime. She doesn't really have them. She doesn't have empathy, sympathy. She doesn't. Those are foreign concepts to this girl. And to see her not only manipulate Charlie and like you say, that kiss when her eyes are looking at us and Sydney, you know that she's about to betray this dude right now. It's coming. And right in the heart, cold-blooded. And then Trevor, I'm not the girl you cheat on.
Yes.
Bam!
Yes.
Oh my, okay, this is another level right here. And I'm telling you, whenever she grabs Trevor's fingernails and scratches her cheek, and then she rips the hair out, And I'm like, okay, she's not done yet. And when I
She's
saw
thought
her,
this through. She has.
yeah, she's thought it through, and she's like reserved. She's completely like, this is this. I'm on mission. I'm on point. Next point. And then she goes to that wall, and I mean, when she holds that buck up there like this, and she just runs into that wall, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it killed me. And then of course smashes her head in the wall, and then the table, just one after. And I thought that was the net. We've never seen that from any other Ghostface.
No
one's
not
done
at
that.
all. Like I thought when I saw Billy and Stu and the first one stabbing each other, I'm like, okay, this is intense.
Yeah.
But no, she wouldn't blinked an eye. She was just like, hey, just do it. You know, it's taking.
Just do it. Yeah, I can take it. And
she wouldn't have to get hyped up or nothing. She would just do it. She probably wouldn't even ask them to. I mean, she did it all by herself.
She did, and like you say, she's almost emotionless in all of it. It's just almost like a checklist, because like with Stu and Billy, and all the animation and stuff, this is very much just now. And then she's like, yeah, I had to just to match Sydney. She has to kill her mom, just because she's got to be like Sydney. And when she lays down and she moves her hand,
just like her,
to look just like it, I'm like, dude.
Yeah, that's a good point too about why she killed her mom.
Yeah, that's the only motive was because she has to have a dead mom, because Sydney's got a dead mom.
And
now.
she says, I don't need friends, I need fans. Like, she doesn't care. She's killed all of her friends. I mean, she's been a part of the murder of all her friends, whether she killed them or Charlie, but like Olivia, Kirby, like, she does not care.
So, no, she does not at all. And it's all about, like, you what do you expect me to do? Work? Go to college, work?
And it reminds me, too, of, like, those kids you hear about who do, like, insane things. It's like, you could die. Sometimes they do die, which is sad. To be famous, to get views, to get subscribers. Like, and so it's not unheard of. Like, there are people who have this mentality. You look at that movie,
they do.
What was that one movie that had the kid from Stranger Things in it?
Oh, gosh.
All right, I'm drawing a total blank. But
yeah,
there are people who will do whatever it takes to stand out and be seen and be famous.
Yes, and the thing about her was her ability to manipulate everyone and every situation to what she wanted it to be. That was just unbelievable. And I got to tell you, another thing I loved about Jill is that, and this is not really about her so much, but I think it kind of is, because I never suspected her. I thought she was the new final girl Wes was setting up to kind of be the new lead, kind of like we're seeing with Sam, that she was supposed to be that kind of character. You know, she's related to Sydney and all this. I never once ever suspected when that Ghostface stabbed Sydney in the stairway there, or walkway. When that mask came off and it was Jill, my jaw dropped. Gory, did it shock you, or was it just me? It shocked me.
I think the best ones for the reveals are the ones where they think like a horror fan, because we do know when you're pushing it too hard, it's not them, it's too obvious. You know, we like to try to be one step ahead of the movie, and we've seen a dozen of these movies, so it's hard to trick us. And so when you do this reboot, and you're like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. She's the new Sydney. They're going to pass the torch, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know? And then you're like, wait, what? Like, that was smart, because they knew what we were thinking, and they played against that expectation. That's brilliant. That's pure Scream right there. And that's what I wanted from Scream 5. Like, they should have known. We would have been like, well, it's the boyfriend. And it should have been the boyfriend.
Yeah. No, it should not have been. They should have turned the tables on us and made that killer someone else. Wes or anybody else. I don't care. Chad even. But not Richie. It just...
it didn't work.
It just didn't work. But anyway, back to Jill, rather, excuse me. I think I pretty much it. She's basically just... Oh, and one more... I got to mention one last scene that I love every time I watch it with Jill. Is when she's talking to Dewey, and he's like, yeah, well, we're hoping Sid may pull through. And she's like, oh, and she's starting to be like, oh, crud. You can just see the motors turning, because we know as an audience.
So well, because you can see it in her eyes. She's like, oh,
you see it. You're like, oh my gosh. And then what I love is, right as Dewey walks out, right after he leaves the room, her face turns from this little smile to this just cold, and she reaches up, grabs the IV, just like almost robot, like I am on a mission. And I love seeing the switch flip on. And you can just see her whole face change. She
one
did a
of her
great
best
job.
performances.
I think
She's
Emma Roberts
incredible.
is one of the
And
best.
honestly, not
one of the
even
best.
just Scream. She is one of my favorite slasher villains. Period. I just think she's great because it's tricky to make somebody this unlike. Yes, I was thinking of Spree. Thank you, Brandon. The movie I was thinking of, Spree.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
It's tricky to make somebody this unlikable and still be fascinating. Like that's
Yes.
really hard. And she is fascinating. She
is.
has my full attention when she's in this movie. So yeah, it's hard to do because she's not likable. I don't want to hang out with her.
No, she's not the kind of when you're surveying, personalities wise. If you're in a friend group, that's not the one you're going to call just to chill.
Yeah, you want to hang out with Kirby. Kirby's great.
Yeah, that's exactly. And the fact that it's a shame because see Amber. I hate to beat up on Amber again, but I'm comparing number 3 to number 10. That's not really fair, but
she has that element of Amber, that scrappiness.
She does, though. That's what I'm trying to say. She has the element of Jill. She just didn't do well with it. She didn't. I don't know if it was the way she was told to do it by the directors, or if it's just her. But anyway, it's a shame because I think she could have been more likable, and if she'd have been a little bit more something gory, I would have liked her more.
And I think the problem is when they basically copy and paste an old character. We see this people either love Mindy or they don't like her because she's copy and pasted Randy. So you either love that or you're just like, I've seen this. I was kind of like, I've seen this. I didn't get super into her. But yeah, a lot of characters, people felt that way about Kirby. They're like, it's just Randy. Why are you guys so excited? And there are people who love her. I love Kirby. But I think had Jill been the heroine, had she been the new Sydney, I don't think I would have liked her. I'd be like, well, but I like Sydney more. She's just a Diet Coke version of Sydney. Why? I don't need her. I have Sydney. But because she's not the Sydney, she's the villain. She brings something new to this franchise, and now she's special. Now she stands out, and that's what Amber was lacking. Uh-oh.
Okay, so Gory, can I ask you a little rabbit trail question? When we're talking about Scream 5 now, and we're kind of requeling the series, the season, the franchise, how do you feel now with Sam, who they're, at least at this point, it looks like they're trying to ram this character Sam down us as the new, quote, Sydney, the lead. And now, how do you feel about her? So you're basically in the same position that we are with 4, kind of a requel. It had been 10 years, 11 years actually. And so Wes and Kevin start over with a new trilogy in mind. So we're doing it again. So how do you feel about seeing Sam Carpenter? Do you feel that she's right? Because I do not see her as Sydney.
I don't. She does not have that vulnerability. No. Even some of the scariest people in this franchise, Jill has vulnerability. She's a complete sociopath, but I understand what hurts her and what makes her mad. What affects her. Sam, she's great when she's vicious. I think she'd be a phenomenal killer. But she lacks that vulnerability. She lacks that depth. I think there's potential. I mean, I haven't given up on her. It is interesting to have a final girl that actually has that bloodthirst. And they might be able to make it work. I don't know. I'm hoping they introduced her as the main character in this one so that Tara can be the one in the next and we'll actually be afraid for her because Tara does not know that her sister has visions. We know that. And so it does this whole dramatic irony thing where we're afraid for Tara and Tara trusts her sister. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know if Sam is multidimensional enough to really carry a franchise the way that Sydney has.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing too. It's the vulnerability part she's missing. At least in 5, is missing. And for me, if I'm watching a lead, if I cannot connect, if I can't find a way where I'm connected to them and somehow where I'm like, oh, I buy it. I believe what I'm seeing. If I can't connect with them, Gory, I have a hard time rooting for them. It's hard.
I only care about Sam, and this sounds mean, but I only care about Sam because Tara cares about Sam. Tara had me from the beginning. She had that vulnerability. She was sassy. I loved her. I'm like, all right, I already love you. We're buddies. So I loved her. By the end of the movie, I wasn't attached to Sam like that. I only care about Sam because Tara does. So this is where I think with my vision of the trilogy, where Tara becomes the main character in the next one, and I don't want Sam revealed as a killer. I want us to suspect her and be like, oh, it could be her. It could be her. I mean, because we're afraid for Tara. And then the third one, I think they should go ahead and make her the killer, because then you have to have Tara go against Sam. Sam doesn't want to hurt her, but she has to. Tara doesn't want to hurt her sister, but they have to. They love each other, but they're on different sides of this game. And I think that's going to really get the fan base emotionally invested.
I love it. I love the idea of that happening, and I'm rooting for that too, Gore. I'm telling you, you and I don't know, man. There's some. I don't know if we're reading the same playbook or what, because we got very, very similar ideas of what we want to see. So I see a lot of fun streams ahead.
To things, I
do too.
I want to understand I want to see them as people, and I want to understand where they're coming from. Which, oh my goodness. So we're number 2, dude. Did you say everything you wanted to say about Jill?
Yeah, that's it. Jill rocks. She's awesome, and I absolutely love it. And I will say, she's great.
Oh boy, well, bye, Jill. It's been
Jill.
swell.
Yeah,
Swelling's gone down. Okay, don't hate me.
Oh, I already know. But just that right there tells me all I need to know.
My number 2 is Stu Mocker, and I have a feeling it's not your number 2. But come on, number 2 ain't bad. Number 2 ain't bad.
Number 2's pretty good.
Stu is again one, like Angelina. It can easily bump up to my number 1 spot if he comes back. The only reason he is number 2 to, obviously, if you guys have been watching, you can figure out who it is. The only reason is, 1, comparatively, they're both ones I love. Personality-wise, it's the only one I would give a 5 to. I adore Stu's personality. Before he's Ghostface, after he's Ghostface, I don't like it when their personality changes. I like it when it's like Jill or Stu or Billy. They have the same personality after they're revealed as Ghostface. They don't change. Whereas Richie, it's like, you're playing a different character now. Amber, you're playing a different character now. It doesn't make sense. I like the ones like Charlie. He's still the same dorky kid. I don't like it when they try to pull a 180, because then I don't know if it's the acting, the direction, what's going on, but I don't like it. It's inconsistent. He is the same kind of crazy party guy, but now he's a killer. I love that. And his ad-libs, oh my God, Matthew Lillard, like, he did so much with this character. He made it incredible. My favorite lines, I think, are Stu lines. I adore him. I do think, and there's also a lot of debate about who killed who, because I'm of the camp, and people disagree on this. I believe that he killed Casey.
Oh, I do too, 100%.
I feel like she recognized him. That was his girlfriend. I think that's one of the ways that Billy got him in, is he had this hate on for Casey after she left him for Steve. I think he killed Casey. But there's really nothing to verify either way, but that's my opinion on it. Whereas I think he did kind of like Tatum. He doesn't kill Tatum. He can't kill Tatum because of where he is located in the house. And then when Billy comes into the house, they kind of have this look like, I took care of it for you. Yep. I actually don't think he would have wanted to kill Tatum, but he might have wanted her dead, but I don't know if he could have done it as easily as Casey. You can tell that there's some passion there. Like, that person wants her dead.
Casey dumped him too.
That's what I'm saying. She dumped him for Steve.
Motivation.
Steve Orr, man.
Poor Steve. Look, he was talking about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Hanging out with your girlfriend can kill you.
And she's not even a good girlfriend. Like, she's like, what?
Right?
I have a boyfriend, and then it's, and he's big and he plays football. Like, where's his boyfriend 5 minutes ago, Casey? Huh? What's going on, Casey? Anyway, back to Stu Mocker. I adore him. But I do feel like if it came down to, which one do I think I can survive more based on the information that has been given to me in Scream. I have another side of this that would make Stu my number 1. Based on the information given to me in Scream, his motive, you can read into it. Like, I read into it. And I think he had a lot more passion for what they were doing than is let on. I do think he was brought into it by Billy, but I feel like a lot of the targets are very personal to Stu.
Yes.
So I feel like he has more motive than he lets on. It is not just peer pressure, but I have to go on what the movie has given me, like what's in black and white. And in black and white, it's still speculative, so that's kind of a hit for him. His motive just isn't going to be as strong because the movie hasn't done it. Now, if he comes back and he's a mastermind, boom, you fixed it, because then you reveal what I've suspected all along, that he was a lot smarter than he let on. That he was essentially like playing dumb, so to speak. And then that's gonna be a game changer. 2, he doesn't strike me as quite as lethal. You know, I mean, he's done about half the kills in there, but he doesn't scare me like Jill or Billy. Like, he's scary. He's scarier than a lot of them for sure. But there's a couple where I would rather go against Stu than Billy or Jill.
Okay.
Just me. I mean, he is tall, and that is really intimidating and scary. But again, if he comes back and you find out he's like this mastermind and he survived having a TV on his head, again, that bumps up your lethality, dude. Like, he could have 5s across the board if he comes back. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting Stu train. But I love his personality, and even though his motive is kind of weak as far as what's presented to us on paper, it's funny.
But
I love it.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And personally, he is of my top 2. I mean, like, just my personal, like, I enjoy watching them. He is one of my favorite parts of watching this movie. Again, it's tough. If I had to just say based on who do I like the most, guys, it's Stu, okay?
Yeah.
It's Stu.
Oh, yeah.
I like Stu the most. He is my favorite character in this. But looking at everything else, yes, he is my number 2, but it is no shade on him. We love Stu. And just for Stu, here's the Stu thing. Yay! Okay, I think I know what your number 2 is. And we're still friends, right?
Of course, absolutely. And I have to ask you about real quick. So you touched on it, but you said if he's back in 5, or not 5, but if he's back in 6 or 7, then he moves up, or
I
add some
would
color to
place him
that.
above Billy because that would confirm my suspicions. It's just right now it's fan theory.
Got it.
Everything I think that would make him scarier, more intelligent, have a better motive. Right now it's fan theory. And I recognize that, I recognize, the other people on the other side of it who don't think he's dead and stuff. Right now, that's just my fan theory. But if my fan theory that he was smarter, that he is more of a manipulator than he let on, if that proves to be true and he comes back, then without a doubt, he's number 1. He is more of a manipulator than Roman, than Jill. He's more lethal than all of them. He's more bloodthirsty that he waited so long. And he's the most entertaining, too. Number 1 with a bullet.
Down.
Number 1 with a bullet. So
Number
if he
1.
comes back, absolutely that will change.
Okay, appreciate it. I just wanted to ask a little bit more on that. Love it.
Does that make more sense?
Right.
Did I explain
it does. Yeah, totally. No,
so,
it does.
Can I guess what your number 2 is?
Take a shot.
Billy Loomis?
Billy Loomis, baby. Number 2, Billy Loomis. Great killer. Great Ghostface. And I love I love how Wes and Kevin did it because they want us to believe it's Billy right from the beginning of the movie. Like, literally, right there up front with the window scene, the murder happens and then Billy's in her window again, right? And all of this stuff they want us to believe it's Billy, but they can't be, Gory, because that's too obvious. Right? They're never going to show us the killer up front. It never works out that way in a murder mystery. And so he goes, I won't unpack the entire movie. We all know it. But what I love about Billy, though, is that even in all these scenes, he reminds me, Mickey, I think, and Billy are from the same school of personality.
I agree.
In a lot of ways. Those two together, oh my gosh, could you imagine a Billy and Mickey team?
Wow.
It would destroy a city, like a
That's
full-size city. That is terrifying. But I love it. The Billy's eyes always set on the killer, And even when after they slept together, and Nev is starting to think about that phone call, and he's tying his shoes over there, and she's like, I just thought that'd be really smart. And and I can't do the look, I'm not Skeet, but he looks at her, and he's like, really?
Yeah.
And he's got
you're
those
just like,
eyes.
Stop being creepy.
Creepy. And then, of course, the ultimate of all fake outs. I just love it. Then I'm believing it is Billy. I'm like, oh, it's totally Billy. At this point, it's got to be Billy. And then we do the fake out stabs, turn away from the camera. So smart, Wes. And then, anyway, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not Billy. Now who is it? My brain scrambled. It's like, oh, is it his dad? Maybe it's her dad now. I mean, well, anyway. Billy was great, and the role he played was fantastic. He was supposed to be this self-centered narcissist, and he plays a narcissist role but as good as anybody I've ever seen. And even the way he talks about her mom, like, it's been a year. I think you need to get over that. And I mean, that is someone who's so absorbed in their own space that they can't either. There's no empathy there. So he's not showing any of those caring Derek type qualities.
Yes, where it's
he's
like,
the opposite.
Okay, one, you're in high school. Your girlfriend doesn't have to have sex with you. She doesn't
Yeah.
have to, even if she's in her 30s. She doesn't
Right.
have to have sex with you.
No.
But yeah, it's just like, and her mom died. Like, to quote Sydney, "Is your brain leaking?"
Is your brain leaking? Bingo. Because his brain is in a different place. He's not where you think it is, Sydney. And so I think Billy was great. Obviously, physically, he's physically imposing. He could take on anybody. I would believe him killing anybody you put up against him. I have no problem believing it. And I really believe this dynamic duo of Stu and Billy is, dude.
I truly believe in that bromance. Like, obviously, Jill doesn't really care about Charlie.
No.
And in 3, it's not even really officially confirmed that they're a team. And in 2, she flat out betrays Mickey. But this is like Butch Cassidy and Sundance, man.
Yep.
But I wonder, and that's why they always say that in the remakes and in the sequels. They're like Billy and Stu. There's been other teams, but everybody wants to be Billy and Stu because I think they also want that relationship too, the way they vibe off each other, the way that they genuinely seem to like each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do, and you can just tell, like when they're in the video store, and they're ganging up on Randy. It's like a foreshadowing.
Wolves will do that. They'll find the weakest member of like a pack of deer or whatever, and they'll run it down and run it down and run it down. But they don't just go for it. They come in from both sides. And that's what they do with Randy. They're on both sides of him. Like, he has nowhere to run, nowhere to escape.
No.
Like, they have such a predatory nature, and they are so in sync.
Very predatory. And I felt the claustrophobicness of that moment, if that's a word. Claustrophobic.
Works for me.
Yeah. I felt it for Randy. When Billy's right in front of him, grabbing his shirt, and then Stewie's laying up on his shoulders, like, oh shoot! You can just feel that your personal space is completely gone. You got
he is not a predator. Randy is not a predator.
No, he is not a predator, and it was foreshadowing right there that there were 2 killers. Still, though, it blew my mind when the reveal came. That was a whole. We could talk about that another time, but that reveal was mind-blowing, head exploded.
Talk about shocking endings sometimes.
Shocking ending, just amazing. So, yeah, so Billy, absolutely fantastic. But yes, he is my number 2.
Okay, well, I think everybody, are we done talking? Are you done talking about Billy?
I'm done talking about Billy.
I'm going to say my number 1, as you probably guessed, is Billy Loomis.
All right.
Okay, why Billy Loomis? Billy is the only one that has genuinely shocked me. A lot of them where I'm like, okay, I didn't think it was Jill, but I'm not surprised. Billy, no, I was so clever when I saw this movie. Like, I'm sitting there, like, my friend, and I'm like, guys, it's too obvious. You don't watch enough horror movies. Like, I thought I was so clever. It's definitely not him. Oh, come on, they gave him the cell phone. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, rolling my eyes, like, I'm so smart. I've got this figured out. And then, I'm doing the math, and I'm like, there's no way he could have been there. I never thought there was 2 killers. Never. So that blew my mind. But they were so clever in picking him because they hit it so hard. And it's something that might have not worked with people who are horror fans or even mystery fans. But those of us who watch these movies all the time, we know it's never the obvious one. That guy is a red herring.
Right.
And they did it. It made it even more so a movie that was made for horror fans. And, like, I was just like, it was one of those ones I wasn't even mad. I'm just like, you got me. You got me, and I'm having a blast. 2, next to Stu, some of my favorite quotes of the movie. I think movies don't create psychos, movies make psychos more creative is one of my all-time favorite quotes in a movie, period. I love that he is a movie nerd. He's up there with Randy and, like, what he knows about movies. And he's a little more subtle about it because he doesn't quite, like, I guess, announce it as clearly as Randy, but in the way that he's always talking about movies, he's always quoting movies. It's not always as obvious, but referencing movies. Corn Syrup, something for Bloods and Carrie. He's quoting Psycho. Like, you can tell, like, he's obsessed with movies, which is really cool.
Yes,
And I
very
do
much.
believe that the movies have made him more creative. He's also scary and intimidating. Like, you keep wondering, it's like, is that just his face or is he crazy? You know, like when you
Right.
said that look he gave her, you're just like, oh my God, did she just really offend him or is he the killer? And I was like, I'm like, oh my fucking God, he's the killer. They're doing this. And then he dies and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And I love that. It was so exhilarating to not know. And also there's something to be said for when your protagonist and your antagonist have to have some kind of chemistry to really make this work. That's why I want Tara and Sam to eventually go head to head in the third part of this trilogy. I think that's going to be incredible if it happens.
Ooh.
But he has incredible chemistry with Neve Campbell. Like, there's this part where it's like, are they going to kiss or fight? Like, they have so much tension between them. And it's really good. I mean, that's why even though The Craft came out beforehand, it was done, Scream took longer to make. So she was the one who, when they were doing The Craft, she's like, oh, no, you need to get this guy, Skeet, who I'm doing this scary movie with. And that's how he got into The Craft. Yeah, because they really vibed off of each other really well, and you get that in the movie. Like, it's, and I can see why she likes him, even though he's so creepy, because you want someone who pushes you just a little bit outside of your comfort zone, just a little bit, who's
That's
a little
true.
bit dangerous, you know, and I see why she likes him.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I can see why he likes her, because she is especially in the first movie, the epitome of the final girl. She's a virgin. She's sweet.
Everything.
She's tough. She's smart. She's likable. He picked her for a reason. And obviously it's also because she's Maureen Prescott's daughter. And that's, you know, but I think he saw that. Like, I think he got excited and was like, oh my God, she is a final girl, isn't she? If I have sex with her, I will remove her powers. You know? But it's not a movie, Billy. It's not a movie. You're just a fucking crazy person. But like in his head, it really is. And I think he actually thought he was disarming her. You know?
Yeah. Right. That's interesting. You know, I never thought of it that way, because obviously he didn't love her. Obviously, there was no love there, real love. So I wonder, I never really stopped to think about that, Gory. If he was literally doing that, or trying to do that, simply because she would no longer be a virgin after that. Which would fit.
That's why he's pushing sex so hard, because he is so movie warped. Everything in his head is movies. He references them. He quotes them. Everything in his head. I think he designs his kills kind of around movies. And so in his head, because he's fucked, he believes that no matter what, she will kill him if she's a virgin.
Yes.
She will run away. And so he needs to disarm her. Once he's had sex with her, she has no power.
Wow, that's really cool. I honestly never really thought of it like that all this time.
That's a big part of why I like him. I think he's so complicated and creepy, and you know, I guess I feel bad that his mom left, because obviously she's crazy and she raised him and stuff, and so he probably felt really abandoned. Like someone said, he might not have connected with his dad as well. So you get it, and then he has this buddy, the only person who really understands like how he is, and it's kind of like you and me. It's like I reveal my nerdiness to you, and you're like, and I still like you. So that's like him and Stu. He's like, by the way, I might want to kill people, and Stu's like, buddy. Yeah, so I love it. Like I don't think you can go wrong with these guys in your top two. Like they're both really great villains, and like I said, with Jill and Stu, these are not just my favorite Scream villains, they are some of my favorite villains of all time.
Love it. Well, that is very cool, and I'm going to remember that little nugget about Billy's motive. I'm gonna mention that. That is, I think it's, you know, this is so cool, because here's a movie that's 25, 26 years old now. I've seen probably, I don't know, 100, between 1 to 200 times, probably maybe even more than that, maybe way under. And I never really stopped to think of that particular angle. And I've dissected this in my brain, Gory, for a long time.
You love this movie.
I mean, I love this movie like you have no idea how much I love this first film. And to have that little light just go bing, and like I never really connected his act of sex to motive.
He's sex obsessed throughout this movie, and I don't think it's about getting his rocks off. He is doing that. We know
that
he's having sex with Sam's mom.
Right.
It's
Well,
not
now we
about
know
that.
for sure he's got another girl pregnant while this is all happening, and in it's just I see Jordan talks films. Yeah, man, it's blowing his mind too.
Oh,
It's
thanks,
so
guys.
cool. Yeah,
You guys
because
are so sweet.
I never really stopped to think that Billy's motive for sleeping with her was anything more than just to sleep with her. But this adds a whole nother level to Billy's mentality because she has to die because so she can't be a virgin. She can't be a virgin.
Absolutely.
She's got to die.
I think
I
no
love it,
matter
guy. I
what
love
he does, no matter how smart she is, she's got that final girl virgin power. And up until this point, you have to remember movies.
Wow.
There was a few of them that were a little meta, but nothing really subverted expectations the way Scream did. So if you're
No.
raised on these movies, you know the final girl will find a way. She
Yes.
just will, even if it makes no sense. Laurie should not
Right.
be able to survive Michael Myers, but she does.
She does. And Sydney broke the rule of virgin as a final girl. She broke it because she's
She did.
still alive. Yes, she's still alive. That's awesome, Corey. I think that's fantastic. And the next time I do a Scream 1 video or on my next live stream, I'm going to absolutely talk about that. That's
And
really
that's why
cool.
I said also these lists are so flexible too, because also
Yeah.
talking to you shine a light or tell me things where I'm like, I didn't look at it that way and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think these are such well written movies. I credit that largely to Kevin Williamson. There's a different writer for Part 3, but he
Yeah.
was still involved like as a producer. But they're so well written. And these are such great stories that I think it's always interesting to kind of kind of dissect these characters and look at them in different ways.
Absolutely.
But let's get to your number one, buddy.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I've waited all night to talk about this particular individual. Oh, this is like it's like the moment when you're stepping up to the Oscars without dropping someone's name, someone's wife's name. Not doing it that way. Stepping up to the Oscars podium to make your speech. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the man, the legend, #1 Ghostface in Scream history, Mr. Stu freaking Moocher, baby. Let's get it up. Cravenites, I know you're in the house. Let's go. Let's get it up. I know you're out there, Cravenites. If you're on the Stu train right now, hit your best hashtag right now. Hashtag, get it up. Let's go. I know you guys are on the train. I know it. I see it coming already. There come the trains. Let's go. Hashtag it, baby. What's your best hashtag for Stu? Is it hashtag Stu lives, Stu Nation, bring back Stu, Stu is alive, get on the Stu train, the Stu train's rolling. What is your hashtags? Let's go if you're on the Stu train. Represent Stu Nation in this chat. I'm looking for it right now. Let's go. Heather Lay's representing Stu Train. I see it. Let's go. Keep it up. Now, while you guys are pouring in the love, hashtag get it up. That's what I'm talking about. Listen.
Hey, Carrie.
Stu Moocher. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I see it. All right. Stu Moocher is the epitome of masterful precision and fun killing. And I say fun because the guy loves it. He kills you with a smile. He kills you while he's smiling, and I absolutely think it's fantastic, which also, Gory, it speaks to what you touched on earlier, is that there's a much deeper levels to this guy than most people give him credit for. I really believe it. I held back earlier when you were talking because I knew I was going to...
There's a lot there to support it.
It is, and he's not. Some people just say, "Oh, he's just a little lapdog." No. He is not just a little lapdog. And I'm telling you right now,
he arguably might be the greatest mastermind in this franchise, but the franchise needs to show us that, definitively.
Yes, absolutely, definitively. Let's see it coming up. And Gory, you know my feelings on this as far as what I think for this trilogy, the potential we have for seeing some things happen. And so more to come on that in a few weeks.
Oh, I like this one. Stu will be right back. I like that.
Stu will be right back. It's right. He will be right back. I love it, guys. And I think that we're going to find out. And listen, he loved to kill. Stu loved to kill people.
It brought him genuine joy. And you almost are like, when you see somebody having that much fun, it could be hacky sack. And you're like, I don't know what this hacky sack is. You're having so much fun. I want to have fun, too. And then you're like, oh, it's murder. About that.
Absolutely. I mean,
but when he's killing you, you're just like, I wish I was having as much fun as this guy is. He is having more fun than anybody.
He genuinely is.
Give
He's
me
like
some
the
of what he's having.
a whole picture of it, because he is like the happiest Ghostface killer in the franchise. And as much as Mickey liked to kill people, Stu, no, he literally is having fun. He's happy. He's in a great mood. And I mean, I remember when Billy came around the corner when after he killed Tatum in the garage, and remember Stu's at the door, and Billy just like whoom pops up. He's like, hey, and then Billy gives him that Stu that look, like like it's done, like I just took care of Tatum, and he's like,
Billy, I will say, with Skeet, he is so good with those looks. Like there's where you get the impression that Stu just is like, he's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yes.
And
yes.
He's like, no, nobody said you killed anyone. And Stu takes it like, thanks, buddy. Like, thanks for thinking I'm not a killer. And he's basically saying, shut the fuck up, you fucking moron. Like, he's totally so good with his tone and his looks. I want to watch this right now.
Well, it's like Stu's so giddy. He wants to keep talking. It's like he's ready just to keep rambling, let it all out.
He wants to share his love of killing, like how we want to share our love of horror movies. He just wants to like explode and be like, "Isn't killing fun, everybody?" Like he wants a killing community. He needs that chat group that Mickey's a part of because he just wants to share it.
Yeah. He does. It's almost like, here, come here. Here, put the knife in your hand. I'll help you stab your first person. Here, I will take your hand and we'll stab them together. And I want you to experience this feeling. Like that is totally Stu. And yeah, whenever he's like, you can go to my parents' room and talk and whatever, And this guy's girlfriend just got killed, and he knows his girlfriend just got killed, and he's just kind of cracking jokes. Let me tell you, man, there is not a more higher ranked personality of a character in the franchise than Stu Macher. That is the guy 100%. That I just love the guy. And so he was such a fun character, and yes, I am the conductor of the Stu Train, Gory. I have a responsibility to the community of Stu Nation. The train is rolling, and I'm telling you what, folks, stay tuned. That's all I got to say. Stay tuned. And Gory, you know what I'm talking about. So when we get closer to that,
cult leader and Stu is dead. We have talked a lot about cult leaders here. We've talked a lot about people who have to be able to manipulate people. I'm going to say, he's a really charismatic dude, Fate. I'm just saying.
Listen,
he has the potential to be.
Gory, I've kind of embraced the cult leader title.
I like this because I believe there's a cult of Stu.
I think there is too.
In the franchise, I think there is.
I do too. I think it's active, and I think we've already seen 2 members of it. Active. Already, they're in the Stu cult.
I told you a lot about that. How I believe the reason Amber confessed, said it's an honor, and that all that she did it. It's because they have a hive mind. They're part of. They've been brainwashed. They're part of a cult. So what one member of the cult does, it doesn't matter. We did it. I did it. What you did, I did. So that's what I think. But, I want to see this in the movie. I'm tired of, just speculating and getting excited because I'm worried I'm going to get disappointed.
Well, I honestly believe it's going to probably be revealed in 7, not 6. I'm already not expecting Stu in this movie. I think 6
is going to be our Empire Strikes Back. I'm hoping we're going to get into these characters and really focus on them and be like, okay, now that was our transition. Mm-hmm. That's where we had a little more of like Dewey, and then we're transitioning into this new thing. Now we're really focusing on these characters. Maybe Sydney or whatever, or Gail, will make an appearance, but this is really about these characters. Those other characters are there more like guides. They're not our protagonists. And that's what I'm hoping. And then in 3, we're going to be invested. We're going to be pumped to see them go in this final showdown.
The final showdown, and I can't wait to see depending on what happens in 6, I am anticipating a 7 to be an epic ending to this trilogy, and so I do think Stu's involved, and Gory, as we get closer, as we get later in the month, and what I'm talking about, maybe I'll come back if you would have me back, and we can talk more openly about what's going on.
You are always welcome back. My house is yours.
Same here.
I mean, you gave me a ticket to the Stu Train, so
you're
always welcome in the Gory Hole. That's what we call things here.
The Gory Hole! I love it. That's awesome. Well, thank you, and I will, in fact, I need to talk to you about getting you on the channel this month because I've got a couple of dates in mind So I'm going to talk to you off after we're done.
I'm excited. It's my birthday month, by the way, everyone. So,
I know.
If you want to tell your girl happy birthday, you can subscribe, give a thumbs up, watch a video. Just saying.
That's right. Let's get her watch hours up. Let's go. We got to get to 4,000. That's right. So hey, you're almost halfway there. So let's get these watch time hours up. So really, that's about it for me. I think so much. A lot can be said about Stu. We've already said a lot about Stu, but he's my most favorite character of the franchise of any film, and even more than Sid, Dewey, everybody. He's my number one.
What is it about him? Just because Heather asked, because her favorite's Tatum.
Yeah.
I love Tatum, by the way. I think she's just
Tatum's
wonderful. She wants to know, what is it exactly about him that just makes him your favorite?
Everything I've said. The personality, the way that he will just kill you with a smile, which is just a whole other level of sick and depraved in my book. And he's getting the kind of enjoyment out of it that we saw Sam get when she finally kills Richie. Mm-hmm. And it looks very, I think Gory, you've heard me say this before, I think it's very sensual to me when you watch her kill Richie. It's almost like there's some type of an arousal thing going on.
I feel like she's like a soda bottle that's been shaken up, and the whole movie I feel like she's like this because she's afraid of being her dad. And finally the lid is off and she is fully herself.
Totally. 100% agree. And Stu, he's fully himself. He doesn't play games. What you see from him is him.
And he's like it the whole movie. I mean, he's talking about gory stuff. He's like, he doesn't censor himself at all. Like, I like that he is not afraid to be him. Like, he is incredible. Just incredible performance, incredible character. And it's hard, guys. Scream, it's so hard. It is a masterpiece of a movie. It's so many iconic characters. So 100% I understand why Stu, could be many people's number one. Like I said, for me, small marginal difference, but incredible characters. The fact that we get two incredible characters in one movie, two incredible villains in one movie, like that speaks volumes for how phenomenal this movie is. Like a lot of movies, it's hard to get one killer that is that fascinating, that interesting, that lovable. They have two in this. And then your final girl is spot on, and then the people in the group this movie is just lightning in a bottle.
It totally is.
We need to watch this movie together and just completely geek out one of these days.
Why don't we do that?
We should have a watch party and just gush.
Let's do a watch party with Scream, and I'll bring you on the stream. I'll host it. If you want to do it, I'll host it over on my channel. If you want, I'll bring you over.
On the stew train are so comfy, and best snacks.
Thank you very much. I work really hard for the stew train. It's constantly maintained. It's kept up. It's polished daily. I'm telling you, it's a very you're in the VIP section, which is oh man, that's the one. fully stocked bar, fully stocked. I mean, it is beyond with DJ, disco ball, fog machines. I mean, we got everything going on in the VIP. So, Gary, that's your spot on the stew train.
For coming up.
Listen. Hey, I love it, and we will absolutely do that. And I saw a little bit. I just have to say real quick. I have to see. Extron was saying, "I have a stew blanket that I sleep with every night."
Oh.
Extron, listen, I don't. But if you want to send me one, I will absolutely sleep with a stew blanket. If you make that happen, you let me know. I would and Blucka, I don't have a Stu Mocker body pillow, but I would love one.
You need all the stew merch, and I'm gonna send you the goofy little stew train video I made as a gift.
Please do.
You want it? I don't know. It was me.
I want it.
It's either hilarious or horrifying. I don't know.
Bring it. Please bring it, because I will literally upload that for my next live stream. I'll have it ready to go. Yes, thank you. This was awesome, and so I'll tell you what. Maybe Gory.
We streamed like.
Oh.
Well, I mean, we were late, but still, this was a pretty long one. But I've not even noticed the time. Hopefully, you guys have it in the chat. This is just breezed by for me, just because it's something that you and I are both so passionate about, and we love these characters, and we love this franchise.
And
I love
you know
your
what?
passion for this franchise. Like, seriously.
Oh, well, thank you.
If you guys are not already subscribed to Steven on Craven Something Scary, you're missing out. He is so passionate about this franchise. And not even just that, like other Wes Craven films. He talks a lot about Halloween 6. And he has just incredible streams where, like, it's really hard, I think, when a lot of people watch, and I'm not that great about it. I'm trying to pay attention to you guys in the chat here as best I can. But he really does make you feel, even when you're in the chat, that you're a part of it and that he hears you, he sees you. It's really a fun experience. And I mean that for the whole Lethal Collective, too. Our guy Fate here in the chat, Jake, they're all great. So it's definitely the MCU of YouTube. You got to get involved in that.
Oh, the MCU of YouTube. Okay, the Lethal Collective is Friday evening. So I'm going to let the guys know that Gory B has given us permission to call ourselves the MCU of YouTube.
MCU of YouTube, yes.
I like it.
I'll be your
Necessary
PR guy.
Distraction. Hey, I see you, Necessary. Craven not here. That's right.
Yep.
I'm telling you, and it's so funny. On my last live stream, I just gotta say, talking about the whole cult thing. You know, Fate decided kind of spurred that idea on as like trying to be like a joke or whatever. I'm like, you know what? I like it. I don't have a problem with it. And so someone on the live stream the other day, this week, started doing hashtag Cult of Craven, and I said,
I like it.
You know what? And then several people have reached out and said they want shirts that are Cult of Craven t-shirts.
Merch, dude, absolutely. That's another way I mentioned earlier. Ways you can support the channel, even though it's not even though it's not monetized. I do have merch. I don't know. Check it out. It's in my doobly-doo links and stuff. But
nice.
yeah, I need some Craven merch. I needed some Stew Train merch.
Listen, the Stew Train merch is coming. It's in the design phase now. Gonna have at least a couple of stew options, at least a couple that you can get, and I'm also gonna do the cult. You see some of the cult, Craven Night Cult for Craven.
I see it.
Gonna start playing around with something there too. I haven't figured that quite out yet. Actually, Carrie Crave Cinema, who might still be in the chat, and Jackie Elaine, who might also still be here. They were here a minute ago.
You guys are so awesome for still watching this.
This is so great. This is so awesome, and they are actually. There's Jackie. The best cult family,
by the way,
Jackie.
Jackie's on Instagram. Really great account to follow on there.
She's fantastic. Jackie Elaine here, Jackie and Carrie Crave Cinema are apparently because they're both very creative with design. They're working on some Craven. What am I trying to say? Cravenites. Cult of Craven. Thank you, Gory. My brain's going a million miles an hour. Shirt designs.
That's cool.
So they're working on it. So it's coming. But the Stew Train merch is going to happen, and it's going to be out on June the 4th. It'll be the first day they'll be available. And that's all I'm going to say about June 4th for now. But Gory, I have a question for you. When I bring you on the channel, and like maybe in a week or so, we'll look at our schedules. How about we do a Scream watch party together?
That sounds fun.
Would you like to do that?
Yeah.
Maybe instead of just a live stream, which is I love live streams, but we could watch. I think it's a great idea. Let's watch the movie.
Yeah, I love Scream.
Yeah.
I never get sick of watching the movie. I love that movie.
Me either. Never.
You can play it on loop. And also, happy early birthday to Fate. It's going to be May 22nd. Pretty close to mine. Mine's May 17th.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Fate.
I'm excited.
And Gory.
He can
awesome.
watch the movie with us if he behaves.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I make no promises.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much in the chat for watching and supporting and chatting to each other and just sharing your ideas and stuff. I didn't get to talk to every single one of you, but I've been reading your comments. You guys are awesome and really enjoyed hearing your perspectives about these ghost faces. And of course, Steven, it's always a pleasure. We always have a blast together. I think we could talk all night probably, but we probably
easily
won't have work tomorrow.
Yes, there are things coming up on the calendar in a few hours.
The last Gory and Craven team up though, so absolutely hit that notification bell on my channel because sometimes I just stream just because I feel like it, and I don't want you guys to miss out. And absolutely visit Craven's channel, hit that notification bell because he is a workhorse, guys. He has got streams, content for you all week, and you don't want to miss out. Plus, if you like me, I might be back there pretty soon.
You will be back there very soon. Nice.
And oh god, and if you guys are Scream fans, he's had some Scream celebrities on there too. He's got Maureen Prescott. He had that Nancy
Ann Ritter.
Yeah.
Nancy Ann Ritter. Yep.
So yeah, he's
Girl in
got
the
some
bathroom.
really cool people on there. When are we watching the screen? That's what Necessary Distraction wants to know.
Well, I mean, let's see here. Hold on a second.
You don't have to answer right now.
I know. I'm just taking a peek at my. I have to keep a schedule because I'm getting really busy with the things. But next week, actually, if you have some availability next week, I think
so. I think next week I'm actually pretty free. The week, the 20th is when I'm going to Crypticon, and beyond that, I think I'm pretty free.
So okay. So if we can do it next week, great. If we can't, maybe before you go out of town, like that early part of that week, like the 16th, 17th, and 18th,
Why
somewhere
not
in
the
there. You
17th?
think?
That's my actual birthday.
Oh, that's your
I
birthday.
probably
That's
should
right.
Have dinner with my family.
Yeah, you should do that.
Even though I love
totally.
Scream.
No, totally. So maybe if we can't do next week, we might be able to do next week. If we can't, though, maybe we can do something on the 18th.
Sounds
that wouldn't
good.
be too. Maybe.
All right. Well, you
18th?
hang out after the stream. We're gonna.
Yeah, let's talk after.
We're gonna chit chat a little bit more, guys. A little
Yes,
more
we are.
chit chat about.
Because I gotta tell you
stuff,
guys,
so we can plan some more awesome content for you guys. Yeah. I really hope you guys had a good time. I know it was long, but I've had a blast. Hopefully you've had a blast. It means so much to me that you guys checked out the stream and hung out with us. This has just been fun. This has been so much fun. Craven, before we head out, let's just remind them where they can find you on social media.
Oh, of course, yeah. You can hit me up on Instagram, Twitter. Just type in Craven something scary. Just as you see here, it'll come right up. And I would love to hear from you guys. Follow me there. We can do direct messages. I love chatting with you guys there as well as on my channel, where you can comment on the videos and the live streams, because I enjoy the engagement. It's a lot of fun. So come check me out. I'd love to see you over there. I absolutely love it. Tomorrow, it's possible that I'm streaming Friday night. I'm streaming Friday night, I can tell you.
Tomorrow, I think you are.
Sledgehammer's Friday night.
Oh.
So I'm doing back-to-back streams. So I'm on Sledgehammer Horror Friday night at 8:30 to like 10. And then at 10:30 Central, I am streaming. And Destination Station, who was in the chat earlier here, is going to be on with me.
Love that guy.
And I've also invited a few other guests, so there may be some surprise folks that pop up on that stream. But Destination Station will be there to talk about all of his experiences at Texas Frightmare this weekend, where he hung out with Robert Englund for 4 hours.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
jealous.
jealous.
And at the hotel bar, and had drinks with Robert Englund. And he's going to have lots of stories to tell. Very excited to hear about it. So that's Friday night. Awesome. I can tell you that. That's going tomorrow night, and it's possible. I may just do a random stream.
I need a YouTube TV guide so I know when all the shows are coming out, because I don't want to miss these. This sounds like fun.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let you know when that one's set up in StreamYard.
I've got that bell rung. I've got that bell. It tells me.
Listen, I got to tell you this, Gory. If you're free, I know you don't have to answer now. I'm putting you on the spot. But Friday night at 10:30 p.m. Central, so that's where. Whatever, I forgot. You're like 2 hours behind me, aren't you? Or no.
I live in the past.
You're in the past. Yes, you're.
I'm always in the past.
I look at my rearview mirror and I'm like, Gory. Anyway, I'll right here on the live stream. I'll invite you now to join me on that if you want to be a part of that live stream.
Sounds good. Just remind me.
Okay, I'll remind you. Sounds good.
Awesome.
This was fun. Thank you very much for tonight.
And I will be adding, if I haven't already, I will make sure to add his channel link in the card and the description below. Cannot recommend this guy enough. I do not have people on this show that I do not actually watch. And I don't ever miss this guy's show. So 100% recommend. I love all of you guys in the chat. Thank you for hanging out with me.
Yes, thank you guys.
And until we meet again, blessed be.
Bye, guys.